Hello, welcome to the No Clue Podcast. I don't know what episode this is, but this is our first video episode.
Yes, episode 1.
Yeah, a new episode 1. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Tyler,
I'm Mike.
and this is the first time you guys are seeing us. Really interesting. Packed episode. We have.
This is probably the most packed episode I can remember, like recently.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially with how dry music's been for most of the year.
Yeah, big releases. March Madness. You want to start with that, March Madness?
Of course.
Yo, the amount of upsets I've seen.
Madness, pure madness.
Yeah, this is March Madness. This is what it's all about. Well, where do you want to start?
Let's start with I guess we could start with the first upset. It happened pretty early, first day.
Okay.
It was the third or fourth game? I don't remember exactly, but it was the second game on TV for me.
Okay.
Illinois first game wasn't really a challenge. I didn't even watch the whole thing.
Right.
In Ohio State, I didn't tell myself that it was going to be a good game, but I was like, I hadn't seen Ohio State all year. I got to check them out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Oral Roberts, I'm assuming this is going to be a quick half and I could go do what I got to do.
Yeah.
And it was not a quick half. I can tell you that.
Yeah, man. Oral Roberts. Well, and now there's more to the story, but they got the leading scorer in the country, right? Abmas, is that how you say his name?
Smith. Yeah, it's
Abmas.
Smith. I don't know.
Yeah, I know it's a weird way to say his name, Max.
They kept saying it. They kept saying it during the game, and I didn't help me figure out how to say it.
I know it sounded like they were saying multiple different things, like they were pronouncing it different every time.
Yeah, exactly.
But he was averaging like 26 points a game, I believe, and 29 coming into the tournament and throughout their tournament. And man, 6'1" guard.
He's probably the quickest player in the tournament that I've seen so far.
Yeah, noticeably quick.
Like he hits a hezzy and he's gone.
Yeah.
But their size is really solid.
Mm-hmm.
Again, nobody knew anything about them. I have never even heard of the school.
I've only seen him on the bottom line. I've never seen a game from Oral Roberts.
Exactly. And
Ever.
they came out with swagger from the jump.
Yeah. And the school is named after a televangelist. So he came on TV preaching back in the 60s and 70s, and he got a school named after him, and now they're in the tournament. Like, think about that. We have all these other schools, prestigious.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I really didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah. I was laughing because you had disrespected them as soon as the game started.
Yeah, I did. I was like, oh, okay,
And I kept wanting to I was waiting for Ohio State to wake up. There you go. Oral Roberts is not good. We're right.
Yes,
and it never happened.
Never woke up. And Kevin Obanor, coming in averaging 19 and 10, shooting 50% from the field. And he lit them up. Like you said, he looked like Kyle Kuzma out there.
Bro, it pissed me off. I've kind of, we're praising Oral Roberts and they've been great.
Yeah.
They look really good. They look really balanced.
Yeah, they are really balanced.
But they're the only team I've seen that's balanced while still kind of having go-to players.
Mm-hmm. They have very, very defined roles on the team.
Right.
Yeah.
But Ohio State, what the hell was that?
It was bad, man. Bad.
Oh my God. It was such a, after the fact, it was a good start to the tournament because it set up all the upsets.
Yeah.
But watching this game, I was like, I hate that I even chose to watch this.
Yeah. Me too.
Because it was close, but Oral Roberts controlled pretty much the whole second half.
Yeah, it turned into a cat and mouse where Oral Roberts was the one running. They were the one in front. And it seemed like Ohio State was battling to stay in the game more than Oral Roberts was battling to, carry the game. And it was just easy looking for them, honestly.
I was so frustrated by and this was kind of a theme from the first couple of days. The bigs playing well.
Yeah.
And the guards were so selfish. It's like they didn't want to pass the damn ball.
Mm-hmm.
Every time Ohio State would like kind of get going or just match with Oral Roberts, it was because the bigs were getting good layups, good inside position, good offense.
Yep.
Bro, Washington was set on going off. It didn't matter how many shots he had to take. It didn't matter how good the shots were, if they were ever good shots.
Rarely good shots, yeah.
Bro, and obviously I texted you during the game like, yo, can this guy stop? Bro, Liddell was eating for Ohio State.
Yeah, shout out to EJ Liddell. Sorry about the death threats. You did your thing in the game. I think he basically did everything he could in the game.
Bro, every time they played through him, they would go on a run or they would play significantly better.
And he had some big time momentum buckets too.
Exactly.
Yeah, that three was huge. He had some good defensive plays. Yeah.
And again, it was not even just Liddell, the thick big man who I don't even remember his name. He came out, got a couple post feeds, scoop layups.
Yeah.
And then the small light-skinned guard started forcing everything.
Yep.
Only going left. Like, bro, I get it. You're left-handed. Like, can we get something else? Man, honestly, it was probably the most selfish guard play I've seen all year.
Washington Jr. went 3 for 12 from 3, 7 for 21.
21 shots?
Yeah.
Bro, Liddell should have had a 30-piece easily.
Both the players on Oral Roberts, who took more than 20 shots, had a 30-piece.
It was, bro, Ohio State just didn't look prepared, honestly.
No, they didn't.
Of all the games I watched, Ohio State looked the messiest, the randomest. Like they couldn't lock in on the things they were doing well.
Yep.
And then Obanor just wouldn't miss because he was getting good looks the whole second half.
They were good looks. I mean, he was, and a lot of them were just straight either corner or top of the key jumpers.
Pick and pop, or just like, I hit the shot before, so now I just rip through, go straight to the rack.
Yep.
The defense was bad. The rebounding was soft.
Yep.
Ohio State just looked asleep. They just never woke up for the game.
Yep. And Oral Roberts got it done again.
Crazy, man. Because again, I told you right before we got on, I didn't think they were this good. Like, I thought Ohio State's problems really kind of opened up the game for Oral Roberts.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But different team, same story. I don't know. Maybe
exact same
I was
story.
Asleep.
Maybe
I was asleep.
And Obanor 26 and 28.
Bro, I said Kuzma for Obanor, but not like NBA Kuzma. Just like that's how he plays.
Now he is NBA Kuzma.
Now he's definitely getting the draft stock up.
Yeah, he is. He should get drafted. For real. I mean, and he should go now because
for sure.
They're not gonna, I don't think they're gonna do this again. But
it's hard to imagine.
And Abmas is a sophomore leading the country in scoring.
Bro, and he's not like he's great, but like he doesn't have a bag. He doesn't have like some unstoppable move.
Yeah.
It's literally just speed and like he just plays with confidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, and when he started jacking from like way out, I was like, yo, what is this dude doing? And then they started going in. Like the first one he missed. I'm like, all right, like let's relax. Like that's not gonna work against Ohio State. And then he hit like the next two. I'm like, all right, this is what we're doing, I guess.
Yeah, and then he started hitting like turnarounds when they would cut him off.
Yeah,
I was like, what? Like it looks like it's difficult for him to even get it to the basket.
it does. Yeah,
And he's draining him.
6'1". They're pumping him up a little bit to be 6'1". Because
I don't know if he's 6 feet. He didn't look 6 feet.
No, he looks a good 5'9".
He looks Kemba size.
Yeah,
maybe even small, maybe even an inch or two shorter, like you said, 5'9".
Yeah. So shout out to Oral Roberts, man. Sweet 16, right?
Yeah. And I thought they would be one of the few Cinderella teams. At this point, it's not even Cinderella teams. Like the rankings should just get thrown away.
You want to go to the next one then?
Yeah. What was the next? Next big upset?
Let's see. I'd
give Syracuse.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would you consider Syracuse? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see the first game. We can talk about the game from today a little bit more.
Yeah, I saw that.
But
UCLA was the upset too.
Yeah, that was like one of the later games.
Mm-hmm.
But Buddy Boeheim getting 30.
Yeah, he getting his draft stock right too.
Oh yeah.
And you know he works out with, like, I mean, he's probably not working out with Carmelo, but McNamara got him in there. Devendorf probably got him in the gym. I'm sure he gets some good shots, good experience, and he looks good.
I don't know about, like, I haven't seen enough to like give an NBA analysis of him or potential.
Mm-hmm.
But his size and the way he shoots looks solid.
It does, yeah.
So we'll see how they go.
Yeah, they it's amazing that he's just stuck with that 2-3 forever, and no one can do anything with it, man.
Dude, today is pissing me off watching this.
Yeah, I'm like, Bob Huggins, like, you haven't figured it out by now.
900 wins, bro. The sixth coach or something like that to 900 wins.
Yeah. You can't go against a 2-3. And I mean, Syracuse 2-3 isn't just any 2-3, but like,
it's still a zone.
Yes. And they look like they couldn't do anything. I mean, and they kept it close. They mostly kept it close because Syracuse is, what Syracuse was doing, not because of not because they were beating them.
WVU battles, to like they're down 20 at all times.
Yeah.
So that helps.
Yep.
But it was an uphill battle for WVU to even stay close.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
You talked to me a little bit about it, but what the hell happened to Purdue? that was the first time I looked at the box score. Like, dude, I just watched an upset. Can I relax?
Yeah.
That made me mad.
Purdue, man. They just didn't want it, like North Texas, man. North Texas had a lot of scrappy guys. Everyone looked like they had something to prove, which I love, which is a beauty to watch when those kind of guys are playing really hard, chip on their shoulder kind of thing. And Purdue was just, they look soft. And they're big and they're strong, but they just got outplayed straight up, honestly.
That's tough, bro. Like, I've seen a lot of that, actually, with a lot of the upsets.
Yeah.
The teams, like the higher seeded teams, come in kind of not lackadaisical, but like soft.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be easy. Like we're not in the March Madness tournament where anything could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's showing.
It is. They did. I don't know how they tracked this stat, but Javion Hamlet for North Texas leads the country in floaters, and apparently like 60% of his points are floaters.
How much does he average?
He averages 15 points a game, so not that much, But
so more than half his points are floaters.
Yeah, it's a 6 to 8 a game. Floaters.
That's OD.
And he's a lefty.
Of course. I should have guessed that.
Went to 2 community colleges. Made his way to the team. And he's the star of the team, really. He's not like the go-to guy, but obviously, because he only averages 15, but he's their leader by a long time.
15 is a go-to guy.
Yeah, it is.
On the NCAA program, like, to me, I would say 70-80% of even maybe he's the second best player, but he's still a go-to guy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's a go-to guy. He's not like he's not killing everybody for them, but they have a really balanced scoring lineup anyway. I think all their starters average over 7. So
yeah, I haven't got a chance to see him yet, but I want to.
You're not gonna. I don't think you're gonna have. Obviously, you're not gonna have another chance because Villanova's.
Oh, took care of it.
Yeah, 47-27 right now.
Oh, taking care of it. Oh,
yeah. The other one on the other side was I guess UCLA was later. Ohio was later. Where you want to start?
I'll talk about. Let's we'll get back to the upsets.
Yeah,
dude, I was excited, and we talked about this last week. Wisconsin and North Carolina was like almost my game of the weekend. As far as like I thought would be a good matchup. North Carolina was playing great for the most part in the ACC tournament.
Yeah.
What? No, none of that. I saw none of that.
Yeah, they look bad, man.
Dude, like we know everybody who watches college basketball for say 5 years knows what Wisconsin's going to play like.
Yeah.
It's very simple, very, disciplined, very team oriented,
very stiff in a lot of ways.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But North Carolina spent the whole first half getting beat on backdoor cuts.
Yep.
Like it blew my mind how it happened consistently.
Yeah.
Like you would think it happens, 2-3 times. We get in a timeout. Like you would think Roy Williams would be like, yo, like, enough of this.
And by guards, by the way, a lot of times. It wasn't even like the bigs beating them. A lot of times it was just the guards.
Just like basic backdoor cuts. Nothing fancy. They weren't like catching backdoor lobs. It was just backdoor cuts, bounce pass, layup.
Yep.
And in the second half, you're not going to have a chance when you just spend the whole half giving up layups.
Brad Davidson is from Maple Grove, Minnesota. Averages 10 points a game. He had 29 on UNC.
29. Easy 29. From a guy who averages 10.
10 points a game. 6'4" guard. Shot 10 for 15.
In North Carolina, forget not being able to guard Wisconsin of all teams.
Mm-hmm.
The offense, like, we're relying on talent, even though we're not that talented.
Mm-hmm.
We're relying on our size, even though Wisconsin's kind of bullying us.
Yeah.
It was just, they looked awful.
It looked awful, man.
The stuff I saw from Syracuse in the middle of the year, which made me to think they were awful, that's exactly what I saw from North Carolina. Just like no cohesion, no like chemistry, no adjustments, none of that.
Yeah.
I watched the whole game too because I was like, Wisconsin's stiff, so I'm sure they'll let them. Nah, none of that.
Nope.
Wasting my time. I was looking at the other scores, seeing some of the other games were like way better, and I, for some reason, was like, nah, I got to give UNC the benefit of the doubt.
And the weird thing is, they looked so inexperienced. Like UNC looked like this was their first game. That's how it looked.
They look like they were Oral Roberts was supposed to look like.
Yeah. Caleb Love, man, work on your game. Please. Do not come back the same player. I can't take it. Just work on it. 4 for 13. Like, he looks like he has potential. Like, I like how he moves, and sometimes I like how his shot looks. But it's like, come on, man. Like, these guys look so bad. Leaky Black, I do not want to see you come back for your senior year, the same player you were as a freshman.
Bro, they looked, honestly, thinking back to it, of all the games I've watched these first 3 days, they were the least talented team I saw.
I agree.
UNC.
Kerwin Walton from Hopkins, Minnesota, like, he's not that good of a shooter, Roy. Like, I get he's hit some shots, and you got the announcers and commentators calling him your shooter. No, that's not it.
I didn't see rolls. I didn't see that in North Carolina on Saturday or Friday. I can tell you that right now. No rolls, no structure. We just hoop.
Garrison Brooks, 4 for 12. It's not gonna work. You're 6'10", 240. You can't shoot 4 for 12. You just can't, dude. I mean, he's done. He's a senior, but like,
that's how you go out.
4 for 12, my guy. 10 rebounds.
That's rough.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, nobody on Wisconsin had more than 6 rebounds because they weren't missing.
Nah, easy shots all night.
Easy shots. And they were just getting Carolina's turnovers, so they didn't even need to rebound.
Bro, and it's like Wisconsin doesn't even dribble in their offense, and they're getting layups. Like, what are we doing?
They have no one-on-one threats.
None.
Yeah.
Yep. That's somehow Ohio State was bad, and for a while I was like, I'm pretty sure Ohio State was the worst. I thought North Carolina was much worse.
North Carolina was the worst team I've seen in the whole tournament. Yeah, I completely agree. There's nothing else to really say about it for me. They're the worst team I saw this whole tournament so far.
I question Roy Williams after this whole season.
I definitely question his recruiting authority because I don't know what he saw in some of these guys. Huh?
It's been trash for years.
Yeah, he's had a rough time. I mean, like, Harrison Barnes is like the first true NBA prospect I've seen. The last true NBA prospect I saw at Carolina.
I mean, they've at least had good college players.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
like Henson was a good college player.
Page, Bryce Johnson, those guys were good college players.
Yeah.
But like I said, Barnes is the only person that I knew was going to the NBA. Probably, since Hansborough.
That was 8 years ago, I think.
Since Hansborough.
Pretty sure Barnes was drafted in the lockout year. I might be a year off in either direction, but around that time. So we're coming up on a decade, Roy.
Yeah,
like the Seventh Woods, the Southern like phenoms. He's not even getting those right.
No, Seventh Woods.
He
fooled the whole world, man.
He did.
Middle school mixtape was the most fire thing I ever saw in my life.
His game hasn't really changed from the things I've seen.
No, it hasn't.
But we're wasting too much time on a team that didn't even prepare for the tournament.
Yeah, moving on.
Yeah.
Another big disappointment, huh?
Tennessee got spanked real quick. Was that the disappointment you were going to, or?
No, I was going to a much worse disappointment. It was later though.
I didn't see Tennessee, so you can go to your disappointment.
Texas Abilene Christian.
Yes, another one I missed.
Texas, man. That hurt because I had good hopes for Shaka Smart. I'm like, wow, this dude's at a prime like a big school.
Good
He should have
coach.
great recruiting opportunities. Texas, man. I mean, all the players in Texas, and who doesn't want to play for Texas? So he got some good recruits, decent recruits. I think it's only his second year there, so he got probably 2 more years before they're all his recruits. But like, Abilene Christian came in and just dominated them, dude. I mean, it was a close game, obviously, not really dominated, but when you're that much better than a team,
That's getting dominated.
exactly.
When they control the game the whole time, they dominated you.
Yeah, and they did. They absolutely did. Second half, it just looked easy for them, and they were just coasting. They were hitting tough shots, and then at the end, that dumb foul. And some people said it wasn't a foul. It was definitely a foul. Did you see the highlight of that?
Yeah.
Like,
Foul. It was a foul.
You can't do that. Like, you just block the shot.
Yeah, a lot of the top schools, man, they really expose the lack of IQ going on.
Oh yeah.
Because you see, like, no matter how talented some of the lower seeded schools are, there's disciplined, they're coordinated.
Yep.
Top schools, things get rough. All of a sudden, all that coordination and all that falls apart.
Yeah, and they're also exposing the difference between IQ and athleticism.
Yes.
Because like in that Purdue game, Purdue definitely had the athleticism. Definitely. But, these guys, they played smart. They played harder. North Texas just, took them out. And that happened on multiple occasions. Virginia, Ohio. Ohio just wanted it, man. They wanted it bad. And Virginia, this is probably one of their low years as far as the roster looks to me. No offense to the players, but he usually has a better roster than this. And Ohio is they just came right on their heads too, man. The forwards were just killing them inside, killing them. And then what's the guy? Preston? Is it Jason Preston? Yeah, Jason Preston. He looks like Magic Johnson out there. Wow. 13 rebounds, 8 assists. He almost had a triple-double.
Like this has honestly been a dream tournament so far.
It has.
Because by mid Friday, I was coming in every game like it's 2 even teams going at it.
Yeah.
And at this point, I don't know how you could watch the tournament any other way.
Right.
Nobody is safe right now.
Nobody's safe.
Not Gonzaga, not Michigan, not none of the schools that actually have, lived up to the name or the season.
Yeah.
None of those schools are safe, man. One bad matchup, one look at Oral Roberts, palms getting sweaty. I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
And I watched Michigan.
Yeah. And
they look good. They didn't look like they could stop Obanor. I can tell you that.
Yeah. You're right.
So this is an awesome tournament, man. I'm having so much fun watching these games.
Is there any other specific games you want to mention?
I mean, yeah, there's a number of I thought I was really impressed. A lot of schools got tested and folded. A lot of the top schools. One school that got tested and didn't fold was Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas was kind of messy, kind of inconsistent all year.
Mm-hmm.
They look like they were getting sent home.
They did.
And I actually turned the game on. It was like 4:30 left or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they looked experienced in the end of a close game that they were losing the whole time.
Yep.
And credit to the brothers, Groves, I think Grove brothers or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Groves,
they just were unstoppable.
They were,
especially Tanner. I'm pretty sure Tanner. He was unstoppable even when Kansas was coming back.
Yep.
And it was like a fun last 4 minutes that I watched. But Kansas, again, looked experienced.
Yeah.
And they look like they've been hit in the mouth before.
Yeah, and they have. They have. They know what it's like.
They're the only team I saw get really tested and respond.
But the thing is, they shouldn't have been tested. That's the only tough part. I mean, Eastern Washington, no, those guys shouldn't have had 35 and 23.
I could live with myself if Tanner Groves gave me 35. Yeah. I would hide my college experience if I was like, yeah, that guy gave me 35.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, the guys they stepped up. I really love Marcus Garrett, man. I hope he gets a shot in the league. I'm not sure if he will, but I hope he does get a shot in the league because I think he has the mentality, he has the body, he has the athleticism. I think he could do something in the league somewhere. But we know Bill Self, and you said it on here. They find a way.
They have an edge. They have an edge that like other teams don't have.
Yeah.
Especially the top teams.
Yep.
Like they have that like lower seed Cinderella like grind to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it showed.
Yep. And their roster is pretty weak too this year.
I didn't come away with anything from the roster in the 4 minutes that I watched.
Right. Nobody
stood out. It was just guys knew how to play with each other.
Yep.
But yo, you owe me I think ESPN or somewhere I read, y'all owe me an apology for trying to tell me that Georgetown was going to put up a fight against Colorado.
Hey, I just said what I heard. I said it was supposed to be a good game, but
I only believed you because I saw it somewhere else. So I was like, oh shit, like Georgetown's about to turn up.
And I only saw Georgetown play once during the regular season.
I think I did too.
And I didn't see Colorado. I didn't know Colorado was going to come out with like.
No, I didn't know that.
I didn't know the 6, 7 and aboves.
The size. I didn't know that one guy who had like just started was going to get like 5 or 6 threes.
Yeah.
Walker, I think Jabari Walker, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, he had 5 threes.
5 threes. It was like his first start.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but Georgetown looked boring as hell.
They did.
Dude, Georgetown, first of all, Patrick Ewing, I don't know if this was a joke. I don't know if it was just them hyping up the announcers, hyping up the big man, Wahab, or whatever his name is. They talking
terrible,
about
dude.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And the guards were worse, by the way. But they
could have got away with the guards.
You don't have any isolation, like creativity of any kind. You're Wisconsin, but you play like you're like Michigan or Illinois. Like,
yeah,
you shouldn't be playing like this.
Right.
But anyway, they're talking about Wahab, and supposedly Patrick Ewing said that he has the potential to be the greatest big man in Georgetown history.
He said he had a dream.
Patrick Ewing needs to be drug tested, okay?
He said he came to him and said, "Hey, I had a dream last night that you became the greatest Georgetown center in history."
Dude, I was crying laughing when they were talking about it. I was like, I'm hearing this shit wrong. I know they're saying something different than what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Nah, that's Patrick. I was like, Patrick, do you not know what school you coach at?
Bro, Hibbert would have gave him 30 and 20 easily. And 10 assists.
Dude, Hibbert can come out of retirement and work his ass right now.
Yeah, and Hibbert was a good center at the time. I mean, Greg Monroe was nice there, wasn't he? Wasn't he at Georgetown?
Yes.
Greg Monroe would have worked him too.
Bro, there's so many guys who've like shown how talented they are in the league.
I'm only picking recent ones. Right. I wasn't even trying to go,
not even the GOATs from back in the day.
Yeah.
and there was a lot that came through Georgetown.
Yeah. He was stiff. You know, he let some shots go up. He easily could have got a fingertip on. I mean, they just went right past their man, and he just watched them lay it up a lot of times.
And like
the switches were terrible.
Yes.
That little baseline play they kept trying to run, I don't understand. Where he was posting up on the in the corner.
That's just hard to watch. Like it wasn't like an end of game blowout that fast.
Yeah.
But the game was over 12 minutes in, I would say 15 minutes.
Yeah.
When Colorado like stayed hot because they kept getting open shots.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you're not going to cool off a team by letting them continue to get wide open looks.
Right.
So yeah. Georgetown, like they weren't as bad as, was North Carolina and Ohio State, but they looked more limited than those teams did.
They did. Yeah.
And that's what really, I didn't like their play style at all. I didn't like Wahab. They're like encouraging Wahab to be this GOAT big man that he's really not.
He's just not. And
he's
it's
just
okay
like a basic,
if you're not. But...
Right. You're a basic shot blocker. You're a lob guy. You're a physical guy. Like, you're not a feed the post, get me buckets guy.
No, he's not.
That's okay.
Or feed the post and, look for somebody cutting. He wasn't even good at that.
Yes.
His passes were really bad.
He had like they said it on the telecast. He has like 6 assists on the whole year.
Yeah, 5. It was 5.
What?
He was a black hole, they said.
That was when they said that, I was like, oh, Georgetown's in trouble. Like they're trying to I could already see at that point they're trying to play through him.
Yep.
Colorado just spanked them.
Yeah, they did. That was bad. That was really bad.
But the last game from the first round that's memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Gonzaga obviously was not. UCLA, I only saw the first half and they looked good.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know because BYU is just playing terribly.
Yeah.
But I gotta shout him out. Maryland.
Yes.
Maryland came out great.
Bro, the way they locked up Book Night.
Yes.
I mean, straps, seatbelt.
You were so accurate when you were like, his spirit is shot.
It was.
Because he really looked defeated with like 8 minutes left of the game.
And the crazy thing is he like just started scoring then too. And still looked defeated. Because he was like, gassed. I'm just scoring for nothing. That's what it looked like.
He was exhausted after every bucket and shot attempt.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, man.
I still think he was probably, in my opinion, even the way he moved, he still looked like one of the best players on the floor. But Maryland just, everybody looked good for them. They looked so
in sync,
energetic too. Like they never lost energy the whole game. And UConn would fluctuate. They'd have little runs and they'd feel good. And then like one backbreaker and then their spirits, like I said, they were shot. And Book Knight's spirit was just, it was bad, man.
Yeah, like I told you this, UConn didn't play as bad as Maryland made it look.
Right.
Because they missed, makeable shots.
Yeah.
But a lot of that was because they never built a rhythm.
Yeah.
Like every time they went on like a couple buckets in a row type of run, Maryland came out in like of a break and just ran like a perfect play.
Yep.
To get like an easy layup or an easy shot. And then they come back off that perfect offensive play and strap.
Yep.
Like strap to the point where no dribble penetration. We can't really move the ball and like do what we're trying to do. And easily the best defense. Well, up until today, matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
That first round, easily the best defense I saw.
Yeah, I agree. And you're right. They just couldn't get a rhythm. Cole hit a couple shots. Like he had like 2 threes in a row. Then he was strapped the rest of the game. Tyrese Martin, the kind of strong guard forward, 1 for 10. It's not gonna work. It's not.
I don't think Maryland can make a run because their offense is limited.
Mm-hmm.
But if they keep playing defense like this, they are not getting blown out. I can tell you that.
Dude, what happened to Faust that used to go to Maryland? Did he transfer?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was a while ago.
No. He finished his career out. I don't know what happened to him after that.
I remember they thought he was gonna be really good, like potential wise.
Everybody, dude, I used to fight with people in Maryland I had countless arguments with like the Maryland, the people who actually went, who are like diehards.
Yeah.
Bro, I used to like beg, like, please, like Faust, he's trash. Like he's athletic trash. Like it's obvious.
Yeah, that's how I felt. But I remember, I remember the media hyping him up. Like,
bro, Faust was, those like defensive specialists that do nothing on offense.
Yeah,
like the Cephalosias, Roberson, those types of guys. That was Faust's ceiling, while Faust was over here trying to like develop an offensive game.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, it's not necessary either because their team. I can't believe you brought
that up. I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, and they had the one transfer that was nice. That was a score.
Wells. That was Wells.
Yeah.
I liked Wells. Louisville, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I remember I liked him too.
He was tough.
I remember he turned up in a summer league at one point.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah,
I remember seeing him. I can't even remember the team, but it was quick. It was a quick little Orlando sesh where he was just getting buckets.
Yeah, he was a bucket getter. Yeah.
But I want to talk about today because I thought it would cool off on the upsets. Nah.
So we already talked about Oral Roberts upset again.
Oral Roberts. We don't need to talk about that. Syracuse. I mean, we talked about it, but they look poised to make a run to me.
They do.
And they do. Every time, I feel like they always come into the tournament playing better than they like closed the year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how Boeheim does it, but they're kind of in another one of those like run kind of feels to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Texas Tech, it weren't an upset, but for me it was. I liked how they responded in that second half of the first game.
But
I
thought they were in trouble that first game. I did.
They looked in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also limited offensively.
Yeah.
And they pretend they're not by like hyping the game and trying to speed the game up. But it's just, especially for viewers, to me, it's obvious.
They also pretend like Mac is he's good.
He's not Trey Young, okay?
Yeah, they pretend like he's automatic. Like the game plan, if they could just get Mac some shots, they'll be fine. Like, no, he's not gonna just hit every shot.
No, I do want to see how he progresses.
Yeah.
Because he's made a huge leap every year of college.
He has. He's a junior now?
I want to say so, yeah.
Okay.
If I really want to see his right. I really want to see his senior year. I want to see him finish out his college career.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think he's a kind of guy he'll like be a undrafted, maybe a late second round sneak pick.
Yeah.
But if he comes in and has like an Obanor kind of tournament run.
Yeah.
Obanor reminds me of that UConn guy when they won the national championship with Napier. DeAndre. No. Boeheim was the other guard.
Oh,
they had a big man, DeAndre Daniels. Is that?
Oh, like yeah.
Dude, he was getting 30 like every other tournament game.
Yeah, he was lighting them up.
I remember I saw him on an NBA roster, and he really had no business being on it.
Yeah, I think he was on the Rockets, maybe.
I don't know, but anyway, if McClung goes on like a tournament run or like a conference tournament run,
yeah,
or even just a big year,
because
I think he was close to having a big year this year.
Mm-hmm.
I just think if Texas Tech had won maybe a little bit more games, but
yeah,
I want to see what that looks like.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if he comes back, honestly. I think
He
the
could
way
go.
they hyped him up this year,
He could go.
yeah, I think he probably plus with the talent this year.
I think he'd get a crack too. Like if Nico Mannion can get a shot on the court, not just like on the roster.
Yeah,
I'd give him a Mac at least a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Edmund Sumner is getting like regular minutes in Indiana. It's awful.
That was a super stray, by the way.
No, I'm just saying, like
he's just minding his own business. We're talking about young players, and
he is a young player.
how long has he been in the league? I thought he's been in at least 3 or 4 years.
3 years? I want to say 3. I don't know, but Indiana's like convinced. I'll let him go. I'll let him live. But my point is, Mac should get at least a roster shot.
I think he would. Yeah, he would. And the way the guys get injured now, it's crazy. I mean, like,
right?
Or he'd be playing on Orlando right now. They've lost 3 point guards this year.
He'd find time in Boston, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's better than Pritchard to me. I mean, when he's at his peak. And that's the thing. I don't think he's been at his peak yet because I see it. He just doesn't take it all the way there sometimes. Yeah.
He's like, he just hasn't kind of locked in his game, like what he does best.
Right. Yeah. And that's why it sounds crazy to me when Billis is like, I think Mac McClung will get some shots and just start taking over. I'm like, I don't see that.
No.
But like, I see him being good, but not take over good yet. But yeah.
He's like take over good, but it has to be like convenient for him to take over.
It's not just give me the ball, I got this.
Right.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the build to do that ever, I don't think.
And he doesn't have the shot creating handles, I don't think, to do that like every time down court. He may catch somebody, every third or fourth possession.
Yeah, and he's caught people and dropped people here and there. But
yeah. But he's not like ISO Island 3 straight possessions. Like, that's not his game. We do have to talk about Sister Jean, Loyola Chicago.
The updated best defense I've seen.
They locked Illinois up.
Second half, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Illinois like was getting pissed off. And I was getting pissed off with them because I was like, damn, like Loyola Chicago isn't going to let y'all do anything.
Yeah, because it's like they locked them up the first half. And then the second half, Illinois tried to come out and be like, all right, like we've had enough of that. And like tried to come right at them. And it's like they would every once in a while, but end of the day, the Ramblers locked them up.
The lead was between 6 and like 15, pretty much the whole second half.
Yeah.
To me, it never felt like a close game.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of stretches where it stayed at like 6 to 8.
Yeah.
Never felt like a close game.
Yeah.
Similar to Maryland, anytime Illinois sniffed a run, sniffed momentum, Loyola Chicago came out and ran like the most vicious play ever created.
Yeah.
Like all this ball movement, all these cuts, all of a sudden wide open corner 3 splash.
Yep.
And what's crazy is like the big man for Illinois was eating, and they kind of had Ohio State vibes where they didn't really want to pass him the ball as much as he should have got it. But the guy from Loyola Chicago was matching him.
Yeah, he was.
I can't remember his name. Like it's some weird. It's like a foreign name.
The
Wig.
Crutwig, right?
Crudwig. Yes.
Yeah.
He was, bro. His he had the similar stat line to the Illinois big.
Yeah.
Coffee was his name, I think, something like that.
No. Cockburn you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gigantic, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Kofi's his first name. Yeah.
Yeah, Kofi. He was getting outworked. Like all the production from Loyola Chicago bigs was way more meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
It was way more consistent. Like did you watch this whole game?
Yeah, I watched the whole game. Yeah,
bro,
I started a little late, but I caught the rest of it. Yeah,
bro, they were feasting on like the pick and roll lob for a tap layup.
Yep,
we're getting multiple tap layups.
Yeah,
that was crazy to me. And like Loyola Chicago was like Maryland was perfect defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Loyola Chicago in the second half was perfect on both ends.
And they made it was almost like they really made Illinois do whatever they wanted them to do.
Oh yeah.
Like it's like, okay, that's what you're gonna do. Okay, that's all you're doing for the rest of the game. Like they made Illinois focus on one playing style and then let them like spread out their arsenal of game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guard or the wing guard for Illinois, Osumnu.
Yeah, just
to
Sumnu. Yeah.
Yeah, who was balling middle of the year.
Yeah, he was.
Ayo, I think is his first name.
Yeah.
Bro, he got strapped.
He did.
Like completely. And with Book Night for Georgetown, I can make a case like his shot selection wasn't great. Obviously his body language later in the game was bad. Though Sumnu was like getting just strapped.
Yep. And they were making him. Other differences, Book Night, they were making him take tough shots. They were making Sumnu turn the ball over.
Yes. And like taking the ball from him. It wasn't like like he's loose with the ball or like he made a bad give me the rock. Cookies. or just like I know you're gonna pass it here. I'm gonna just take this one.
Yep.
I felt bad, man. Like Illinois, I can't even really be critical of them. Again, they could have fed the big man significantly more. They could have not relied on athleticism as much.
Yeah.
But like Loyola Chicago was so perfect. I really don't know what they like definitively could have done to win the game.
Yep.
I can't even see it. And Loyola Chicago to me looks probably outside of the Colorado game. They've looked like one of the best teams in the tournament.
They have. And
it's crazy.
They're gonna take the winner of this Oregon State and Oklahoma State.
Be Oregon State, most
right?
Likely.
They're gonna take Oregon State, maybe. So that's gonna be interesting, man. We got one number one, just one number one gone, right? Who else? Yeah.
Baylor took care of business today.
Yep. Baylor, Michigan, Gonzaga's still in it.
Yeah, and Baylor took care of Wisconsin like a top seed should take care of Wisconsin.
Yep.
So it's good to see.
And to be honest, I wasn't a Baylor believer going into the tournament. I've seen them play a few times, and they're super balanced. And that was the thing. I think a lot of times to beat Wisconsin, you have to be kind of balanced because Wisconsin doesn't really let stars get off well.
Right.
But Baylor, man, just has so many threats on the team. So many solid threats, too.
I saw a little peek of them. A lot of high-level college players. I saw a lot of good production.
Yeah.
This whole tournament so far is by the way, this is kind of a random thought, but we're pretty much done with individual games.
Yeah, we're done.
It's kind of the resurgence of the fat bigs.
The big bodies.
Yeah,
it is.
Liddell was eating.
Yeah.
Off the top, I can't think of the Groves were both pretty thick.
Yep.
The big man we just talked about Loyola Chicago was thick.
Yep.
A lot of thick bodies were moving people in
Colorado had some thick bodies.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's somebody else who won. Maryland has a guy who had the dirty foul.
Yeah.
He gave him some good minutes too.
Yep. And you got Garza too. Garza's
Right,
a
right.
big boy. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't got a chance to see Iowa yet. So
I didn't see the Grand Canyon game because I just had that much confidence in that. I feel like if they lost that, then I didn't want to see it anyway.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Shout out to Grand Canyon, man, because I really did not know they were a real school until recently.
It's always like one school every other year is like, that's a school? Like, where did they come from?
Yeah, every year, and they surprise you with how good they play because they still played better than I thought they would. I thought it was gonna be like a 30-point game.
Yeah, I'm really loving this tournament because all the fakers are getting just thrown out.
Yeah.
All the pretenders, all the high seeds who had a favorable schedule or didn't really get tested as much, again, eliminated quick.
Yeah.
So to me, from the games I've seen, I haven't seen any like fluke wins or like pretenders who are just hot.
Yeah.
Or being carried by like a random guy who's hot.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, if anybody's trying to tell you that they know how this tournament's going to play out, is lying. Is making shit up.
There's no way. I mean, the every bracket was broken the second, midway of the second day. Nobody knows what's gonna happen here. I mean,
by Virginia Tech's L, it was like everybody was already like, "Yo, what's going on?"
Yeah.
Then Ohio State was like, "We got y'all," and then it just Texas, everybody.
Yep.
A lot of people picked UNC. Bad pick.
Really bad pick. I was never confident. I thought it would be a good game, but I was never confident in their talent. Just hard to be this year. These past few years. All right. So who's the best player in the tournament? Your opinion so far, from what you've seen?
Man, that's tough.
We can come back to it.
Obanor's been pretty good.
Yeah, he has.
But like the game I saw, I hate that I didn't see this past game because to me, the game one was just him capitalizing on bad defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We got to come back to it. We can come back to it next week for sure. I'll have a better idea.
Okay. I'll say this though. If I was drafting, I'd have to go with Evan Mobley, man. He's gonna be a problem in the league. Based on how he looks now. I'm not going to say – I take that back. I don't know if he's going to be a problem in the league, but when it comes to raw, like, ability for USC, I mean, he's a freak, man. The blocks he gets, he
looks like he looks like he's closer to the Obi Topping ceiling than Obi Topping is. If that makes sense.
Explain. I think I know what you mean, but explain.
Just freak athlete with touch.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see really the touch part from Topping. I see that with Mobley from the little bit that I've seen.
Yeah, but he's bigger. I mean, he's 7 foot, which is crazy. And the way he can move at 7 foot.
He's getting a chance. He's getting a chance. No question.
He's so smooth. I mean... Yeah, he looks good. I would like to see him against a better team, obviously, than Drake. Shout out to Drake for making it, but
they cooked. Who they cooked? Wichita State.
Drake did.
Yeah, in the playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember they were one of the games to watch. I remember calling them out because I thought it'd be a good game, but Drake said nah.
It was a good game. It was only oh wait, was it? Yeah, it was a 1-point game. It was a good game. It came down to the wire, I think.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, man. Evan Mobley, he looks really, really, really good. Shout out to Rick Pitino for making it here with Iona and staying with Alabama for probably 3/4 of the game. I was on the edge of my seat that game because Iona was looking good for a minute, but it was one of those games they just clearly got out talented. And at all the games I saw, that was probably the one that was clear, just straight up out talent. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel bad. Because Iona could have had a nice little Cinderella run if they got Ohio State in the first round.
Right? Yeah.
Easily would have got that dub.
Yeah, they would have. And I think they might have caught UConn, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because UConn just really got outcoached to me. I mean, they got outplayed, but a lot of it was being outcoached. And Patina would outcoach somebody. And then really it just came down to Iona's roster is just not there. It's just not there.
No, it's not.
It's really bad.
It's not.
But yeah. Okay, moving on. NBA?
Yeah. What's left of it? Jesus.
Yeah. First of all, LeBron is done for a little while. Hurt for
probably
injured.
till the playoffs.
You think so? High ankle sprain?
I mean, they said like indefinitely. Indefinitely's at minimum a month.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
And with LeBron, the only way I imagine he's coming back early is if they're like dropping in the standings,
which
they
likely.
can.
Yeah,
right.
Because is Anthony Davis?
I told you, bro. Achilles. They're not playing with that shit.
Yeah. What's his timetable?
Another few weeks. They gotta stop doing that.
Yeah, they do.
Dude, ever since Nash, bro, they think they could they'll like keep us on the edge of our seat.
Yeah,
bro,
we gotta ask every game.
See, like LeBron, they gave us indefinitely. Just give us don't give us a timetable.
Yeah, basically just until further notice.
Right. I'm okay with this, like the injury's bad. We gotta see. It's gonna take time.
Yeah, yeah.
When they get us, KD's 2 weeks away. Oh, we got to reevaluate him. Oh, now he's out through All-Star break. Like every time I hear about KD, he's got another couple weeks.
Yeah.
Like, bro, what?
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. It's annoying.
Same shit with AD.
So, what do you think they do? Do they make a drastic roster move just to save
No.
You think they just roll with what they got? Because Gasol's out too, right?
I think so.
I haven't seen Gasol play. They were starting Damian Jones.
And they're not keeping him. They're letting him go.
Damian?
Yeah, he was playing well too.
They let him. They're waiving him?
Not re-signing him.
That's crazy.
At least that's what I saw. Maybe they changed their minds. I don't know.
Because he was playing well. I think he plays good with a good team. He's just one of those guys. If the team is bad, he's bad too. But he can do what you ask him to do: catch lobs, block shots. So that doesn't look good. And what looks like the rookie of the year is done for the season. So that's bad too. Broken wrists, I believe. LaMelo
broke his wrist from that fall he took yesterday.
Yeah, he's done for the season. Broken wrist.
That sucks, man. We didn't really talk about him. He was
eating.
There's not a lot of rookies that come in and look like vets.
They got to give it to Emmanuel quickly, man. He has to get it. Got the Knicks in the playoffs.
Edwards gonna get like a couple of like big scoring games.
They have the worst record in the league.
And what are we talking about? Who cares?
Quickly has been killing it consistently.
Nah, he has.
And I mean, they're gonna give it to Edwards, but or Wiseman, but
I don't think Wiseman's like even qualified at this point. He's missed a lot of time.
Oh yeah, he has. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And they sometimes play him super limited minutes.
Yeah. Then it's a 2-man race. You got to be either Quickly or Edwards to me. So
I will say, if the Knicks don't slip, I'm right there with you.
Yeah, because
they don't look like they're slipping.
And the way he came out in the beginning of the season, like the Knicks had, they won a couple, lost a couple, won a couple, and then as soon as he started getting heavy minutes and started getting those big scoring games, they started going on runs, and they've been competitive ever since. So
who would have thought? Finally, Knicks get a guard right.
Yeah,
I didn't think he'd be drafted. I don't even think they drafted him.
It's crazy, man.
I remember talking about him like, yo, I liked him at Kentucky. Yeah,
I did too. Yeah, Kentucky. This low key might have been one of Kentucky's best years as far as talent goes.
Facts.
I mean, last year. I'm trying to think, is there any other rookies that's like killing it?
No.
I don't think so. But so yeah, LaMelo's out for the season.
I mean, Charlotte sucks.
Without him?
They suck with him.
They're in the playoff contention.
But they're okay. They're a playoff team. That's great.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
They're a complete mess.
They are.
They're capitalizing on guys playing better than they should.
Right.
Maybe LaMelo's not playing, but Terry Rozier giving them nothing and then 40.
That's what he does.
Yeah, come on.
And Graham's been out the whole season, basically.
No, he's been playing. I saw him playing in a couple games ago.
Okay, well he's been missing time, missing a lot of time.
He missed early in the year. I remember he was out for a while.
Okay, yeah.
And he comes. He's like they threw away his potential. By the way,
you think so?
For sure, dude. When I watched him,
LaMelo?
No. By playing him like he's like the backup distributor.
Oh yeah.
What?
Because he was becoming like a lights out shooter.
Yes, we talked about the Charlotte. Nobody has any like clear cut roles.
They don't.
It's just so bad. Like LaMelo kind of covered for a lot of those problems.
Yeah, you did.
So now, I think they're still going to win games. They're probably still a playoff team. Are they a threat to upset somebody? No. And the East isn't even that good.
Right. Yep.
But like LeBron with the Lakers, though, hold on. How hard do you think they'll slip? Because I think they're about to take a tumble.
I do too. Absolutely.
Home court in the first round, gone.
Yeah, no way.
Gone.
They were the only a game and a half
from 6, right? They're like barely 4th or 5th or something like that.
They're a game and a half from being 4th, and they're 2 games and a half from being 6th. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just 2 games, 3 games from being 6th, 2 games and a half from being 5th. So they lose 3 games, and Denver, Portland, they go on a little run. Oh yeah, they're out of there, out of the top 4 easily.
I think this could make the Lakers even better in the playoffs
because
LeBron gets the breather. LeBron gets the breather he needs. No. I don't know how impactful like the time without LeBron will be.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it'll help, but they're fine. They didn't really have role problems when LeBron and AD were there.
Right.
So giving guys more time, more touches, that's can't really hurt in the long run.
Right.
But LeBron coming back with like a month and a half off.
Mm-hmm.
Has LeBron ever since the groin? He hasn't missed that much time.
Right.
And he's needed the time.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
I think they're going to be just fine, whatever seed they are.
Yeah, and the West seeds to me don't matter that much anyway because, like, I don't think Utah and Phoenix are like slaughtering anybody in the bottom 2 seeds.
Phoenix is definitely not.
Yeah,
Utah could get San Antonio out of there in 4 games.
Yeah, I mean they can get them out in 4 games, but I mean it's not going to be like blowouts every game. I don't think. That's right.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
Like if the Clippers, like if it was like Lakers and the Thunder, it would be blowouts every game, or even Memphis, it would be blowouts every game. But if Lakers are down there and they play Phoenix or Utah, I don't think it's going to be like as bad as any worse than playing Dallas. That's what I mean. Like, I think there's a lot of tough teams that'll be in the bottom seeds that will give them just as good of a series as the top seeds. So I think they'll be okay, even if they go down. I don't think they should get the Clippers first round, though. I think that might be a problem. But I don't know how much of a problem.
Clippers, they down bad to me. What's new?
They are.
Well, they look to me. They look like the worst Western Conference
contender.
Contender, right?
Contender, yeah.
They look worse than Portland to me. And that's saying a lot for me.
The thing is, the Clippers, although they look bad, I don't know if that means they'll. The problem with the Clippers is they'll win looking bad. That's what is dangerous for them.
Portland can't, no shot.
Right, that's the thing. I'll say the Clippers look bad, but they still may sweep everybody else in the West. I mean, other than the Jazz or the Lakers, they still might catch a sweep, even though they look like garbage. And most of it is just how they play.
They're not sweeping Denver, bro. Denver's gonna get them out again. I can feel it.
I'd like it. I want to see it. I'd like to see it.
No, I don't know. They're just getting further and further away from the ball movement that I praised them for. Oh, man. It's just like we're going into the playoffs and we're starting Patrick Beverley and Nicholas Batum.
Yeah,
that's not good enough.
Like I said, man, I was watching the game the other day, and I texted you. Kawhi took 3 straight shots. Cool, right? I get that happens sometimes. Comes out the game, Paul George takes 4 straight shots. Nobody touches the ball. He catches the inbound pass, goes all the way up court, takes the shot. I think he made 1 out of the 4, and I was just like, why am I watching this? I can't watch 1-on-5 for the whole game. I'm like, I couldn't watch it anymore. It was terrible. And Paul George with the trying to draw fouls. Please stop. It's terrible. You're not going to get the calls. How many times do you have to do it to learn he's not one of those guys that gets the calls? He's not James Harden.
And he doesn't do it like Harden or Embiid or any of the guys who draw a lot of fouls.
He doesn't look like he does it with any IQ. He looks like he just goes right at somebody and then just falls on the ground. Harden puts
Jimmy Butler
under your arm and
Jimmy Butler is would run circles around him with that skill.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's the only thing that's tough about the Clippers. They do look bad, but they still figure out a way to win looking bad.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And maybe it's the defense.
I don't trust them whatsoever.
How many?
They're getting more exposable. I'll say that.
I'll agree. How many West teams do you trust, though?
Lakers, depending on the injury timelines.
Mm-hmm.
I trust Denver, even though game-wise they haven't really given me too much faith.
Mm-hmm. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Wow.
They getting going.
Porter Jr. has been looking good lately.
I'm not surprised, but with Denver, one thing I do like,
stop passing it to him.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
Oh, he looks too good. Don't give it to him.
Yeah. Jokic will have a team meeting without him.
Yeah, after he hit that 3 where he turned around and looked at the bench.
Yeah,
nah, you're not touching it again. It's over for a night.
But they're one thing I do like about them, they're figuring out the depth issues that they created for themselves.
They are. Yeah, they are.
I just sometimes there's just guys who you think you'll never respect,
mm-hmm.
and they just play in a way that you have to respect.
Yeah.
And Campazzo, while I still think he's trash, he's like, they get so much out of him, but it makes no sense.
They do.
And Hartenstein is come in there, and he obviously can't pass like Plumlee can, but he's got that same like no touch, but I'll make layups kind of game.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're making it work, but they are.
But, I think they have figured out a way to limit their roles, but yet put them in roles where those two will excel and keep them there. And that was what I was worried about.
That shows that Mike Malone is at least trying to like adjust to the issues they got.
Yeah, he is. And to me, also this stuff tells me that the Michael Porter Jr. thing isn't a Mike Malone problem.
Oh, for sure.
Like I know when we had the long episode about it, we were still kind of on the fence. Is it Malone that's doing it? Is it the GM? Is it the team? It's definitely not Malone, because like if he could make it work with everybody else, he's doing it. There's no way he should have this much trouble, keeping Michael Porter Jr. a star on the team.
Yeah. Another thing I noticed, I caught like a quarter of their game like a week ago. But Will Barton's is starting to get back to the random shit just goes in kind of game.
Yeah, he is.
That's with Barton. Barton's one of those. He's either making it and balling, or he's missing everything and playing for the other team.
Yeah.
And you take that with players like that, and he's been showing out lately.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
But as far as teams I trust, the last team I would say I trust, this is a bit of a hot take, I trust Dallas.
Okay.
I've seen enough from Dallas in the last month and a half to trust them.
I figured you would say Dallas. I'm not mad at it at all. But I don't know if I trust
the defense. I get
it. I trust Dallas. I'm not sure if I trust Denver yet. I would pretty much only say LA, like for sure, and Dallas. But
that was how I was feeling coming into the year. I'm sure I'll come out the playoffs the same mindset.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I just can't. I want to trust Utah. I can't.
Yeah, man. 5-5 in their last 10 is not
Portland good. doesn't get it, obviously. Clippers don't get it. Phoenix is going to be their first playoff run in decades. So, and I don't know how CP will lead that. So I can't trust them. I mean, San Antonio center position is nothing, so can't trust them.
San Antonio, they have to make a move this week.
Please, Drummond. If they go get Drummond, that's it.
If they get Drummond, they're a contender to me.
They could match with every team in the West.
Yeah, I would try to see if Aldridge would stay if they got Drummond. To be honest,
you're trying too hard. Let it go. Let that go.
Why let him go? For what?
Because he sucks.
I mean, but you're not getting anything back for him.
I mean, I get that, like the logical viewpoint of it, but
I mean, unless they're trading him,
you already said. Popovich already said he's not going to be with the organization moving forward. Get him out of there. I'm good. Aldridge, like he didn't ruin his career. He didn't ruin his career going to San Antonio.
He ruined his career leaving Dame to me.
But he made a mistake. I'll say that.
That year where they all abandoned Damian was one of the most heartbreaking off seasons of my life. And it wasn't because I liked Portland. I was like, man, Damian Lillard, like he was just on the rise. I think we were at school when me and DJ and Nigel would argue about him versus Westbrook. And like I thought he was about to take over. The team was great. Then all of a sudden they lose 5 out of the top 6 rotation. And they just keep Dame and CJ McCollum, who was like a rookie.
McCollum had just had one big game in the playoffs randomly.
Yes, that's it.
After doing nothing all year.
They lost Wes Matthews,
Batum,
Batum,
Aldridge,
Lopez, Aflalo, and I think Barton, all in the same offseason. I was like, wow, that's nuts. And just went with Dame, CJ, and a bunch of scraps. Thomas Robinson, I think.
Dude, they were convinced Aminu was like the piece. Come on, like, what's going on? What are we talking about?
Yeah, they were.
They stuck with so many role players.
He was the only guy that would stay.
Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna trash the role players because they don't deserve it. Portland just doesn't know how to use them.
Yeah, man.
And shout out to those guys for leaving, because Dame became an all-time GOAT thanks to that.
He did.
But I completely agree with you. The way they left him, and they all got dumber or worse, like less of basketball players. I
remember Aflalo and Lopez went to the Knicks together, and that was a disaster. You remember that?
Whew.
Aflalo
had to revive his career after that.
Wes Matthews has not been good since then. I think he went to Dallas. Yeah, man.
He's been around.
Batum got hurt like the next season and never played again until this season. He hasn't played in like 4 years.
Stole money from Charlotte for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. It was bad. Aflalo just basically was forced to retire that next season. They sent him to Orlando, I think, to retire a Magic. So
yeah, because that was his peak.
He balled on the Magic
for like literally 13, 14 months.
He was a scoring machine for that little time.
Yeah, he was a top 10 scorer for literally like 14 months.
All mid-range jumpers.
Oh, and I hated how he shot the ball. I hated it.
Me too. On the way down.
Yes.
It looked so bad. Yeah.
But there's two West teams I want to talk about that aren't like, they don't really get any respect.
Mm-hmm.
And they have kind of two MVP candidates if their records are better.
Okay.
OKC with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
MVP candidate?
I mean, their record sucks, but if they were in the Lakers seed.
Oh, yeah. I got you. Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
And again, OKC isn't good enough to win that many games.
Right. They're just not. Yeah.
But they're
just too young.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, they're not good enough to win to their record looking like it does now.
I agree. Yep.
I mean, they've maxed out everybody. They got the guy whose name I don't know, and he's like, his name I should know because I come from the same area of the world. He's not from Russia, I don't think.
Dort, you're talking about?
No. The guy they just signed, and he's going off for them.
Mikhailuk?
No. Like Alexei.
Oh. Yeah.
So like, it's
you got to pronounce his name because I don't know how to say it.
It's too many letters. I got to look at it to even try it.
Pukozevsky.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Olympiacos. Oh, it doesn't say where he's really from.
But he comes in, he's balling.
Oh, he's Serbian. Okay.
George Hill's great, playing great. Dort has been like a two-way star.
Yeah. They got the other kid, Isaiah Roby, has been like dunking on everybody every game.
Yeah, they developed the big man that they've had for a little minute. Baisley's starting to look like a. Who did I was just thinking of a comparison for him the other day, but I can't think of it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's starting to play like a really good stretch big.
He looks like Chris Bosh sometimes to me. Sometimes.
Very rarely, yeah. But the stretch, like the game is kind of similar, where he's like a perimeter guy with inside game.
Yeah.
Like good length, but the MVP of the team has been SGA by far.
Oh, absolutely.
And his improvement, just creating his own shots, has looked so much better.
Yep.
And I hate that he didn't get any consideration when who was that Conley replaced?
Davis, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like,
I think it was
Conley was like the automatic,
Booker.
maybe, but whoever it was, Conley was like the automatic replacement.
Yeah.
SGA gets no love, and he's carrying a team that's not even fit to be carried.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's been playing incredible.
Yeah,
and the other guy, that's their team is close, very close. They've won a lot of games without having their second best player. They've won pretty much all their games without their second best player. Memphis.
Okay.
John Morant.
Who's their second best player? Jackson?
Well, Jackson has been out literally the whole year.
Yeah.
But he's maybe not as much of like an MVP candidate if their record was good, because they did do well without him.
Yeah.
But dude, have you seen the way he's been playing?
Yeah. He's been eating.
He looks like he spent all summer like working on everything I criticized from him.
Yep.
Floater package check, mid-range package check, 3-point shooting, as he's taking better shots.
Yeah, he's becoming a better passer too.
Percentage, yeah, much better passer. He's a floor general now.
Yeah.
To me, that first year, like, he was getting the highlights and running stuff, but he wasn't really a floor general.
Yep.
And he's looking like one now. And I mean, if they have a good off season, they'll take off. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, and you know what else? Shout out to D'Anthony Melton, because he has allowed Ja to have those off the ball moments where he can turn into being a more aggressive scorer and not so much a playmaker. Because like Melton, he handles the ball a lot, and Ja gets those back doors. He gets to be able to just take off on the break a lot of times now, where earlier last season he would have to come to the ball, and it kind of slowed him down more than he should have been slowed down.
Yeah.
Now Melton gets it and he's gone, and he gets obviously highlight dunks every time.
Memphis is just so crazy. Like, Morant has been running the show.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see where he takes them, honestly, because I think even if they don't make crazy roster moves, I think a healthy Jaren Jackson and they're a much better team.
Absolutely.
And their record would show that. And
Brooks has been in and out too, I think, right?
Right. And Brooks is a huge part of what they do. He's like their leading scorer on often occasions.
Yeah.
And they've been getting great production out of Valanciunas.
Valanciunas looks, he looks all-star caliber for them some nights.
Some nights he does.
Yeah. I think he's had like 2 20-20 games this season.
Yeah. And I really like, and I haven't seen him in a while, so I don't know, like, their win-loss, their record is like very up and down.
Yeah.
But when I was watching them a little while ago, they trust Valanciunas when he's playing well. Like Toronto, even when he would play well for Toronto, they were like, all right, you got your couple layups, just give the ball back to DeRozan now.
Yeah.
There's none of that in Memphis. When he has a mismatch, you turn it over, I don't care, you're getting it right back.
Yep.
And it shows just with everybody on the team.
Yeah.
How much they trust guys when they play well. I mean, I really didn't think Grayson Allen was an NBA player, but they're making him look like a solid NBA player.
They are. How many years has Taylor Jenkins been there now, their coach? Like
not
3?
Not that long. 2, 3?
He got them buying into this. He got them buying into something. And, I won't take any credit away from Ja, because I think some of it is his leadership. And just having someone more vocal for them seemed like it really helped, because they were a team that just seemed like they didn't talk to each other, like just basic stuff. And Ja has become that like real spirit leader for them too.
Yeah, they needed somebody to carry the energy.
Yep.
And Morant has been doing that really well.
Absolutely.
I can't believe, bro. They're like extending Slow-Mo's career. Like if he came to Memphis and played like trash, he'd be done.
Yeah, he still plays like trash.
Exactly.
But...
That was my next statement. I was gonna say he he gets like 30, 35 minutes and does nothing sometimes.
Yeah.
And they don't bench him. They don't go away from him. Like he's still part of the rotation.
Yep.
I'm sitting there thinking like, dude, this guy on like Milwaukee, if he was playing like this, they'd cut his ass.
Yeah. They're saving Tyus Jones's career to me. Extending it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because he definitely would have been gone on most teams. Let's see what else we got.
We could talk about the worst trade of the year. Houston, are you serious?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't get it.
Dude, I played a game with a friend of mine. We came up with, off the top of our heads, we came up with a good reason for DJ Augustine to be there for the other 29 organizations in the NBA.
That's a tough game.
Took a while.
Because I can't think of a reason for them to have him.
Houston is the only one. The 29 other organizations, we kind of forced it with a couple teams. Golden State, we forced it.
I think he'd help Golden State.
Exactly. If you really think about every other team, you can maybe Toronto was another tough one.
Yeah, they don't need a backup point guard, not especially the same size as their other point guards.
Right.
Yeah.
But every other team, for the most part, you could look at and be like, "Yo, DJ Augustine could help him out."
Yeah.
Except Houston.
Yeah, he doesn't help them at all.
The fact that they got rid of PJ Tucker, who's been the heart and soul of the team for like 5 years.
Yep.
To trade him for DJ Augustine, who you're not going to use?
Yep. And who else did they get in that? Just picks? Yeah, just picks, I think. Oh, DJ Wilson. They got 2 DJs. And I've already said
Milwaukee addition by subtraction. I like it.
I was about to say, I've already said how I feel about DJ Wilson.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Houston like flukes us into thinking, like making him do something.
Yeah, because they have no other big men.
Dude, Christian Wood comes back and it really is night and day. They're competing, they're having fun, like they're fired up. They're still losing.
They only have 3 players over 6'6" on the whole roster.
But DeMarcus Cousins didn't fit. Don't ever forget that.
Right.
Houston, bro, I could not tell you what Houston's doing right now.
Jayshawn Tate is a 6'4" power forward for them.
Like, at least like Philly, I hated when they were trusting the process.
Yeah.
But I could see the strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talked about this, but Houston, what are we doing?
I feel so bad for ever even giving them praise for their roster.
We whiffed on that one.
We definitely did.
It was Christian Wood was playing great. If you had told me he was the heart and soul of the team, I wouldn't have trusted him at all either.
Yeah,
I just didn't know that.
No, I didn't either. If you had told me they go where he goes,
bro, like this is built. That stretch where Wood was out was built for Wall to elevate the team.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they should have like won more than lost. They suck.
They should have won more. I mean, more than
14?
0.
Yeah.
They should not have lost 23 games.
Unacceptable, bro. And they're like tanking, and it's obvious. They're like pretending like they're competing again because Christian Wood's back.
But the crazy thing is, what are they tanking for? They're good. That's the part that is killing us. Like, now they're talking about trading Oladipo before Wednesday. Like,
I don't know what the strategy is.
I don't either. That's why
I've
I
watched
said,
the league for a long time. Like, there's always some kind of strategy.
That's why I said, I texted you the other day, man, whatever they're doing, I just want them to do it. Like, just get it done. Because this right here, why are you keeping Wall? He's 30.
You're wasting the rest of his career.
Yeah. They're wasting the rest of a lot of guys' career. Oladipo's career.
Right.
If they keep him. I think Sterling Brown was he's a solid piece for a lot of teams. Wasting his career.
Macklemore could help a lot of teams now.
Yeah, Macklemore has found his way back into into a roster. Eric Gordon is injured, but he's 32. Like, I don't know, man.
As Wall said, this shit is ass. I really don't know how else to say it. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I mean, and then
my God,
the other bizarre thing is if you're going young and you get Kevin Porter, why does it take you so long to play him? Like, because like you said, it makes you question what's the plan? Okay, we're gonna go young, but we're not gonna play our best young player. Why? I don't get it. It's bizarre. Steven Silas, like, this is, I feel bad for him because he's like, if this is tanking, he only has like 2 years after this.
Right.
Tops. And the first year that they're supposed to be like not tanking anymore, like supposed to be reaping the benefits of the tanking.
If they start off if they start off like 3 straight losses, he's out of there.
Yeah.
Bro, I wouldn't be if they're utter trash for the rest of the year and they spend the first month of next year as trash.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll throw him away as if it's his fault.
Right.
And we'll be there. No, that's not the case. The coaching is not going to save the randomness and emptiness of this organization's like future.
Because the crazy thing is, man, those first couple games, I loved how they were playing. I really did. I was like, I mean, when we talked about it, I was like, this team has so many threats. Like, and then they were moving the ball well, and Oladipo wasn't back yet, but Wall was, looking great.
I'll never believe that Wood fucking up his ankle took all that away.
Because this team is a lot better than his Pistons team. Than the Pistons team that got him this job, him this contract. I mean, I think, without coaches in a pickup game, this team would beat the Pistons, that Pistons team, 21-12.
I'm with you.
But yeah, man. Rockets, it's bad. PJ Tucker looked good for Milwaukee, though.
Milwaukee's quietly they're going on a little run to shove their way up in the standings.
They also let Torrey Craig go, wasting his time, I like it. A couple months of his year. I like him on Phoenix. I like that pickup.
That's okay though. Like, Torrey Craig is a guy, like, you could try to use him and not figure it out and let him go. You have enough.
Yeah, that's true.
And they were doing the same thing. Like, Augustine, you didn't really make that work. That I'm a little more concerned with because he's like an easy piece to make work.
He really is.
But if you're gonna play him 10 minutes a night or 5 minutes a night,
let him go.
What's the point?
Tucker's
gonna help him a lot more just by their stupid play style.
Yeah, and now Greek Freak doesn't have to guard the best player on the floor all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
They getting comfy with Greek Freak closing games.
Who did they play last night? PJ Tucker was strapping somebody. I forgot who they were playing.
I don't even know.
I don't remember, but yeah.
We can talk about the East teams a little bit more next week because I think I don't have the time. I feel like we've been going forever.
Oh, we have to talk about the one though. Blake Griffin. His first game as a net. We've seen it. Are they unstoppable?
They're unstoppable, but it has nothing to do with Blake.
Like I said, I think Blake is probably the most unselfish player on the team. Finally, they have someone that's unselfish.
He fits right in. As you know, playing the worst defense in the league, everybody would fit in. But
yeah,
again, I really don't have much to say on Blake because they played DC. It's not really a sample size of anything. Playing DC, you watched. I'm sure this was your first time in a while seeing DC.
No, I watched the DC when they played the Jazz a few games ago. I think it was just a week ago though.
I can't. I don't want to watch him at all the rest of the year.
I love how Rui's playing.
That's nice.
That's
I have nothing positive to say. I can't. Watching Russell Westbrook stresses me out to he stresses me out to such an extent. He starts to take some of my joy away from the game. Because the fact how he plays with such a complete absence of logic.
Yeah.
And how there's no player confronts him. No coach really challenges him.
Yeah.
And part of that is DC being weak as hell.
Yep.
But it's just it's infuriating. No, but Brooklyn though, real quick. The key for them, I can't believe they found exactly what they need in nothing. Claxton.
Nick Claxton. Yep.
Bro, even if he's not that good, which he probably isn't.
Yeah.
A energy shot blocking big who could catch the ball.
Yep.
Exactly what they need.
It is. He's playing like young DeAndre right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, I was shocked. I'm sitting there I'm like, yo, man, I've been looking for every fucking reason to doubt Brooklyn. And this random fucking guy who I've never heard of, don't know where they found him, is the solution to all their problems.
He completely saved the game today.
For sure.
Yeah,
but
he deserved the game ball today.
He gives them a defensive capability that they had none of.
Yep.
They're not going to be a good defensive team. One big man isn't going to fix that.
Right.
But they can at least challenge you defensively now.
Right.
And they couldn't do that before.
Yep. And he's a pretty decent switch guy.
Exactly. He's not a fucking weak link.
No, he's not.
And that's going to be huge for them in the playoffs. And now, I knew scoring wise they're good enough.
Yeah, of course.
And now their defense can at least pick up some slack.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, the doubts I had about them are slipping by every game.
Me too.
I would understand if Blake came in, was playing great. I like how he played today.
Me too.
He played really hard, got gassed in 2 minutes.
Yeah. I think he could have taken maybe, 2 more shots. Just 2.
I don't know. I mean, I like him kind of looking to feed the more trash players on the team.
But he had some looks he could have dropped in, especially those ones he caught in the middle where he dished it again. He could have just dropped those in, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's okay to take shots.
Yeah.
He's a good enough shooter to at least take a couple of open ones.
Right.
But I think he'll be fine because they move the ball impeccably.
Yeah. I mean, and he adds to that.
Exactly. They move the ball. DC's awful defense usually makes me skeptical of ball movement, but not like this.
Yeah.
I mean, this Brooklyn offensively is literally starting to play to everybody's strengths.
They are. Yeah. I think the only time, and I might be biased, but the only time I don't like how they look is when Kyrie plays the 1-on-5 game where he gets the inbound, he just goes straight into scoring mode. But it's gonna work probably more times than not. So that's the only thing.
You know what I noticed today, and it sounded like a joke when I kind of said it out loud, but they've turned Kyrie into a cracked out Lou Williams. And it's funny to say it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But it's kind of maxed out what he's good at.
It has. Yeah.
And, do I trust the 3 most toxic superstars to lead this team through the postseason? No.
Right.
But as far as the way they're playing, I can't doubt any of the things they're doing on the court right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Durant's only going to make a lot of the shit they're doing better.
Yeah, he just adds another. Durant. It's funny how, like, commentators and media will call Durant like dominating, but a lot of times, like, to the players he's playing with, he's just being a 3-and-D guy, like, for a lot of the game. Like, he doesn't come demand the ball.
No.
He doesn't do any ISO stuff. He's just out there and he just is getting good shots and he hits all his shots.
Feasting off like ball movement.
Yeah. And they're like, wow, Durant is taking over. Like, no,
he's not.
They're just kicking it to him.
He's just making shots. Like,
exactly.
That's great. That's a tough thing to do all the time.
Right. And he just makes more shots than most people,
But it's not like Donovan Mitchell doesn't just get open looks all night.
No way. Right.
You know what I mean? And even LeBron barely struggles to find open looks all night.
Right. And Durant gets open looks and just makes them. And he's
easily, routinely.
And he's the MVP candidate, some people, which is crazy. But
I do think like Harden being their point guard is a cap. He's doing the same thing he does in Houston.
Yeah.
As I said, he's fooled us because he's doing it with more urgency now.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, I don't understand why Houston couldn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
But like now he's hustling out, without the ball. He's making all these random plays that Houston would get maybe like once every couple weeks.
Yeah.
Never got that in the playoffs.
Right.
But he's playing great. He's not a point guard though.
No, he's not a point guard.
I've seen a lot of that, but doesn't really make sense to me.
And I think that Harden adjusts to the team's talent too. So he looks like a better ball mover, better assist guy here because he just throws more passes to some guys now. Like, they're always going to hit Joe Harris in the corner. Like, obviously.
For sure.
But, you can – if PJ Tucker is not feeling it tonight, you may just say, okay, I see you in the corner, but I got this one. Or, Ben McLemore or Gerald Green, those guys in the corner, Harden may overlook them and say, yeah, I'm not going to pass there this time. Well, yeah, you're going to overlook Joe Harris. You can't.
No, you just can't.
Can't overlook Kyrie on the wing. So, he just has guys he is more comfortable getting assists to.
And he overlooked Blake a couple times in the second half.
He did.
Which I thought was fine. I thought it was fine. I don't mind that, especially first game. But it's just, this is such a tough, how are you going to take a sample size away when Brooklyn spent all night? Who was the primary defender on James Harden and Kyrie Irving? Could you tell me? And it wasn't Bradley Beal or Russell Westbrook, by the way.
I saw Garrison Matthews out there a lot of times on the island getting worked.
He was on an island literally all game. It made me say,
start, man. How much longer are you guys going to give Scott Brooks? Garrison Matthews is not an NBA player right now. He's just not. I feel like they think he's
I don't know why Scott Brooks is employed, bro.
What's his name on Milwaukee from Notre Dame again? With the vertical.
Oh, Connaughton.
They think he's Pat Connaughton. That's how they use Garrison Matthews. He's gonna come out and just do whatever we need him to do randomly. He's gonna chase the other guards around. He's gonna get open for threes.
Yeah, he's Duncan Robinson, but he's also Avery Bradley, and he's also like a Grievous Vasquez or some guard who can dribble. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, dude, again, it looked like it was by design that Garrison Matthews should be guarding James Harden.
Bro, why did you guys even draft Denny Avdija if you weren't going to use him?
Bro, he makes like 2 mistakes a game, and Scott Brooks benches the fuck out of him. But Russell Westbrook gets 30 minutes a night doing what he does? Bro, he got a triple-double today. Was that not one of the most selfish triple-doubles you've ever seen?
That's how they all look to me.
Exactly. He's out there assist hunting, and every other play is an awful shot or like a Wizards turnover that was directly his fault.
You guys used the 9th pick of the draft, and he only averages 6 points a game. That's terrible, man.
He's so clueless to what he's out there for. Like early in the year, they tried him as like a 3-point specialist. He wasn't really ready for that. Wasn't really ready to be a defender quite yet.
Yeah, and he wasn't ready to be the point forward either, which they acted like he was going to come in and be.
Exactly, especially when Hachimura got hurt.
Yeah, and they kind of just like thrusted him to that. Like he wasn't it one game, and the next game he was playing point for a while. Like you got to at least get the transition.
It looks like they drafted a guy, and honestly, they didn't really watch how he played.
They just heard he was nice.
Right.
You ever pick someone up on pickup because somebody said they were nice?
I have. And you ever get disappointed by that? Like when somebody tells you that and they don't come through and they just selling games and you're just like, fuck, man, I thought I had like today I was going to stay on the fucking court.
Yeah, that's Denny for you guys.
But it's not his fault.
Yeah, you're right.
Like in pickup, it's the player's fault. Here, your coach is not helping you at all. You're a rookie. Yeah. Like you're clearly going up against league guys for the first time.
Because I've seen flashes of him like being able to do what they think he could do.
Yeah, man, he's a good shooter. I've seen him defend well. Mm-hmm. Seen him make nice passes, nice drives, but now his minutes are just sparing, and he gets judged for mistakes while the leaders of the team don't.
Yeah.
Like that's just bad leadership. Thanks, Scott Brooks. You clearly know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like I said, bro, every time we talk about DC, I'm going off because I can't fucking watch them anymore. I was going to tell you earlier today when you were like, yeah, let's go after the Blake first impression. I was like, we're not getting an impression. Of course he couldn't fucking score, but of course he gets a dunk.
His first in 3 years.
Because DC's, even though he doesn't take the shots all day, we're still over contesting his pump fakes. God knows why.
Yep.
It's irritating, bro.
Raul Neto still averages like 20 minutes a game for you guys.
He's like our 6th man right now.
21 minutes a game.
And he's like, he hasn't been disappointing, which freaks me out even more, to be honest. I'd rather him just play like trash. Knowing how we operate, Raul Neto might get a fucking contract extension.
He might get maxed out. Yeah. It's likely, actually. I feel like he would get a big contract from you guys.
I wish Hachimura gets out of there as soon as possible.
Yeah, me too.
Because I could already see them fucking up his career.
I hope Hachimura and Michael Porter Jr. I hope neither one of them sign their options.
Facts.
Just go.
Facts. This go new we need a new scene for you for sure.
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. may go to Memphis. I read some things.
I would love that.
He wants to play with his brother in Memphis because they got his brother on the roster.
Yeah,
that might be lit.
Memphis is a big pickup away to me.
Yeah,
they scoop like a serious. I'm trying to think of somebody else who could be available in the near future. Maybe if no, that's not the guy.
I'm trying to think of
I would even say Aaron Gordon wouldn't be exactly what I'm looking for, but Aaron Gordon could make them significantly better.
Yeah, he could.
And they're like closer to being good than it seems.
It's kind of funny that I think Winslow, like a closer to the ceiling version of Winslow, would be really nice for them. Like, I don't think Winslow is it, but someone like Winslow, but better.
Yeah. Like kind of what Ingles does.
Yeah. Like that, with a little more athleticism.
Of course.
With Winslow's athleticism, yeah. All right. Any more sports like that we have to talk about today?
You want to talk about the weight room thing?
Not really. I mean,
I really don't either. I wasn't surprised.
We talked about it last time. NCAA is losing control. They put the woman who was supposed to be in charge of the thing on the TV, and she just starts crying. Like, come on, man. Like,
and the fact that they fixed it like as soon as it got exposed.
It's easy.
We couldn't do that in the first place.
Yeah.
God forbid, we spend a little bit of money.
They didn't even have to. They said that Dick's and all these other brands just donated it. So, in other words, if they had just said, hey, the women need equipment, they would have got it for free. All that space.
NCAA is like top tier at like finding the weirdest ways to look evil.
Yeah, man.
Like these random situations where you would think there's like a clear-cut way to handle it and not be evil. They do the opposite.
The weight room is too OD. The men's weight room is OD anyway, to me.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing between games? You have one day in between games. What are you doing?
Yeah, stay out the weight room, bro. It's not the league.
Yeah, like they're hitting triple sets of squats in between games. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, let the pros do that. Like, that's college athletes shouldn't be doing that.
Bro, they have like 8 benches set up. Like, there's only 13 guys on the team. Like, who's in there?
I don't know.
Because when I was upset about the women's, I'm like, well, why do they have that much in the men's? It's crazy, man. I don't get it.
Hey, man, that picture though was definitely a horror show. Because I would think like,
Matt,
yeah, if I had like a bad ankle, I'm getting in there, to get on the bike or something.
Yeah,
I get in there on the bike and see that shit.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah, it's bad. All right. Transition to music.
Yes.
So obviously, I already mentioned that Spotify is trying to get us out of here with us playing music. So obviously on YouTube, so we're not going to be playing gems. Maybe later we'll say our gems, but we're not going to be playing them on the YouTube version at least. I might still play them on the Spotify version, just for not just Spotify, but on the audio version. Maybe we'll play them, but can't do it on the video version. So just a heads up for everybody who enjoyed our gems. Anyway, where do you want to start? Which one? Which album?
Justin was the big one.
Justin.
Start with that.
Biebs. Justice.
Caught me off guard. I wasn't ready for this.
No?
I mean, I should have been in hindsight because the singles came out.
As in you didn't know it was coming out this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I just again, I should have thought about it because he's had like singles coming out.
Yeah.
But again, we never really got like it's about to come out. So at least not from what I saw.
I just saw him doing a few more appearances than normal. But yeah, I'm with you. I didn't know it was I didn't get a full rollout.
It's funny. If I had seen more appearances from him, I probably would have thought he's got something coming.
Yeah, that's how I felt. But that's it. It wasn't let me look out every weekend. It might be Bieber time. But anyway, what you think? You go first.
I'll say this album is better than the last one.
I agree.
It left more of an impression.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just more memorable.
Yeah.
And I do think I really liked a lot of the songs.
Mm-hmm.
I thought a lot of the individual songs I really liked. The features were flawless.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
The picks were just like for sure, like the front rim alley oops where you just gotta throw it in.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
easy, like perfect lobs, and he was just dunking them.
Yep.
And the songs felt like they were made for both of the artists too, or however many artists were on there.
Yep.
And lengthwise, I liked it.
Oh, okay. Wow.
16? I didn't think it was 16 was pushing it. It's close.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe 2 more tracks. I'd have been like, you too much. But he kept it just short enough. Okay. And again, I enjoyed it, I think, because it was a step in the right direction from the last one.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. Maybe you could help me out. This really, honestly, these are 2 really small issues that I can't believe I even have to talk about.
Okay.
Why is the fucking album called Justice? Could you tell me?
I'm not sure.
3 listens and I have no clue.
I don't understand well, it may be your second point.
You know where I'm going next. if that was my first question.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Go ahead, say it.
The dumbest interlude choice I've ever seen.
Yeah. I don't see the correlation at all.
What the fuck was that? Dude, I swear, random. Like I was like, yo, did I like click something by accident and change it to like what? How did that happen?
Yo, I thought I had ad free.
Yo, look, the quote is, the snippet of his lines are great.
Yeah, absolutely.
My problem is it makes no sense in the album at all. The only thing it relates to is the title of the album, which doesn't relate to the album at all.
Right. Yep.
My only real problem is the interlude. Get it out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And the title it anything that has to do with romance,
or any one of the names of the songs,
right? Or like positivity, all the shit he talks about.
Yeah.
I've never, like, dude, you don't talk about social issues, bro. You didn't on this album.
I've never heard him say anything about it. Like, I've heard him say, oh yeah, we should love everybody, or racism is stupid, like something like that. But no justice. Like, I've never heard him go that far. You know?
He threw it like early on too.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bizarre. I wanted to text you about it, but I didn't even really know. I was like, what is this? Like, this has to be a mistake.
The name of the album? Or the MLK interlude?
Those two things are like in their own separate world in an album that's not this. Like, it's another fucking album.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know, man. What did you think? Because, you haven't really told me about the songs themselves.
I'm gonna be honest, it was too long for me, honestly.
That's fair.
It was, and the thing is, it's not that it's 16 songs. It's just for Justin, like, his voice didn't have enough variation for me for 16 straight songs. That's what it was for me. And especially the second half, I loved it. I liked pretty much everything on the second half. The first half I liked, but it felt like it was just too slow for a while. But then right after the interlude of the year, he kicked it up a notch. And the whole album was like, it was really versatile. Some dance, some random Caribbean with Burner Boy in there.
Yeah, I'll start a song early. I thought Unstable kind of got it going for me.
It did.
With Kid Laroi, was perfect combo.
Yeah, it was really perfect. I mean, obviously Peaches is a hit. I've already seen it on Instagram all over the place.
Yeah, for sure. I think Die For You is vicious.
That was my first first listen, I hearted that one right away. I was
like, Love You Different. I loved
it. Loved it.
Like you said, the second half, like, to me, it prevented it from getting long.
I gotcha.
Because you enjoy it a lot more towards the end, because you're like riding a high of just him put like a little bit more energy, more creativity with the features.
Yep.
Some, not a lot, a little bit limited versatility, obviously, but that's his game.
It is.
So I'm not mad at it. I do think I don't need an album from him for a while. After
that's fair.
Especially back to back, within a year of each other, pretty much. I've heard enough Bieber, because his singles get fucking played out every single, pretty much.
Yeah, Peaches is gonna get played out for me. I can already tell.
Yeah, what was it? Ghost also is a great beat.
I like the Ghost a lot.
Really, like that cute little background sound of the beat was really cool.
Yep.
But Bieber's one of these artists who's so big, it's like it's hard to fail.
Yeah, it is.
Like, he just sounds so good that I just can't picture him putting out like a trash project.
Yeah, he kind of has the kind of what we mentioned about Ariana Grande for a while. He is just like, there's some songs that you just know. I'm like, oh, this can't be bad. If Bieber makes the song, this just can't be bad. Yeah.
He just doesn't get, like, he talks about romance a lot, but similar to Ariana Grande, it feels hollow.
Yeah, it does.
Like, it's basic. Like, he's a lot of the shit you've heard him say already.
The worst part is it feels hollow, and he like actually is married and is like he's really in love. Like Ariana, it feels hollow, and she has, no offense to her, but she has a new boyfriend every few months.
Often.
Yeah. Yes. So it's like, okay, yeah, you're saying that now. And Biebs is like, he's in it for the long run, and it still sounds kind of hollow. It sounds very pre-written.
You know where I think I would like to hear him? I can't really think of like who he would do it with off the top of my head, but a little joint project with somebody. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, but I want to see what he sounds like with another artist consistently.
Now, when you say that, when you say you don't know who he would do it with, like, would you want it with someone different from him? Like, would you want to?
Not necessarily.
Okay, like Ed Sheeran.
That would work. That would be a slam dunk.
Yeah, it would.
Easy bucket. That's too easy for me. I was hoping for a little chat. I mean, hey, shit. I go out the league. Go somewhere else.
Well, that's why I asked, because I could see him and Ed doing it. It would be a easy pickings.
Him and Dua Lipa could come together for 5 vicious tracks.
That would be lit. Especially, that would be kind of fire.
I just think my biggest takeaway from this was like him getting creative with features is like more. Please, more of that.
I agree. I wouldn't mind him having a full, almost like a Ty Dolla $ign kind of a feature on every song, where the feature had like a lot to do with every song.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind that too, because he has his chemistry game is, it's been good for a while.
It's almost, I think it's always been good.
Yeah, it probably has. Yeah, since him and Ludacris and from the beginning.
I remember him and Jaden Smith putting out what was that? Never Say Never.
yeah, I think Jaden was on that. Yeah,
but this was before Jaden was even like a real like artist of any kind. This was like right after Karate Kid, I think. Him
and Drake have a song right here on the Believe album that really went under the radar.
Good. Him and Big Sean have some nice songs together.
Yeah. Another one went under the radar was him and Nas on the Purpose album. They got a song that was nice on there.
Yeah.
We Are.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
It was slept on.
He has a lot.
He does.
I would say, if for people who don't really listen to him, I enjoy pretty much all his albums because of that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. All right. So
you got to give me your thoughts on this next one. Oh, what about it? What about Justice? Final thoughts?
Yeah, I was just gonna say we both like it.
Just don't listen to the interlude, and I mean the title. He really sold it with the fucking title. I'm gonna be honest.
He did, yeah. Because I definitely was going into it thinking something else was coming.
At least I thought some of something else was coming. I didn't need the whole album of that.
And when I saw MLK interlude, I was like, oh, he flipped MLK and made a different what is it, acronym for it. I'm like, wow, okay. I was like, I don't like that already, but I'll check it out. Maybe it's I didn't know what he was gonna use it for. I was on the track list listening to like the second song, I think, which I liked. I think it was Deserve You. I liked it. And I was like, man, what could he be? What could MLK mean? Like, I was trying to think of
I had the same thing.
For MLK.
I remember like 2-3 songs in, I'm like, okay, MLK Day is coming up, and he's only talked about romance so far.
Mm-hmm.
So album is called Justice. I've only heard romance. Like, maybe it's coming up.
Yeah, I was like, huh.
MLK came and went, had nothing to do with the fucking album. Yeah. I listened to the rest of the album. Kind of my first listen, I was like waiting, like, where's the social justice, or like, where's the justice talk?
Yeah,
never got it.
Yep.
Maybe there's a deluxe hiding around somewhere.
Yeah, knowing him, it probably is. Probably 25 songs. Anyway, okay. You said you want my thoughts on this one first?
Yeah, for sure.
The plugs I met too.
Oh yeah.
Benny the Butcher.
Harry Fraud.
Yep.
Been a while since I heard that name. Harry Fraud, I mean.
Yeah, me too. One thing about Benny, man, Benny has, and this is all the Griselda guys, I think they're single-handedly the life support for mixtapes. So like right now, like this is a clear mixtape. And I don't hear mixtapes anymore, it feels like, ever. And I'm not saying that this isn't, and when I say that, I don't mean that it's not like good. I mean, it's not an album, like he didn't go into here with a concept or like a it's not really cohesive. It's just great beats and great rapping on every single song. And it's only 9 songs. So I'm like, man, this feels like a mixtape. Listening to it, it feels like I'm listening to a mixtape of somebody. And man, I mean, his lyrics is like, I feel like I'm watching Snowfall or something, like a movie every song. Like
the lines are just vicious.
They're vicious, man. It's like he teaches street smarts every single song, and it's just, they're great, man. At what they do, they're great. And the thing is, on the last album, Burden of Proof, he showed a lot of versatility with it. He had a few, like 2 love songs on there, one about his family, stuff like that. And in this one, he just talked that gangster stuff, man, the whole time. And it's hard. That's all I can really say. It's hard.
Hey, you summed it up pretty great. I'm gonna be honest.
He got a Chinks verse. Chinks been dead for like 4 years, right?
Hey. And he said it on a later song, like still getting verses out, like some, like he mentioned Chinks in some extent.
Yeah.
I don't remember the line exactly, but I was like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to talk about my small nitpicky issue.
Okay.
Longevity. There's so many options, and you pick French Montana and Jim Jones, bro.
Bro, I would pay for a version without French Montana on every album coming out.
Okay, Jim Jones' verse wasn't bad.
It wasn't good either, though.
No, way back in the day, he had a little hot streak. People fuck with him for a little while. Mm-hmm. Okay, I guess I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
French Montana, bro. What about his longevity do we care about?
That is a miracle.
He needed Drake, Rick Ross, and Lil Wayne to make a hit.
Yeah, twice, I think.
And we're talking about French Montana's. Who comes to mind when you? Nah, Rick Ross wasn't available, I guess.
Even that first one, he needed a ton of guys. That what is that song? I forgot what it's called. The dipping in a fan of thought they seen a ghost song. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
He had a bunch of people on that. The remix, because the original didn't pop off. So the remix, Diddy was on there, Ross was on there.
Bro, you reference Pusha T. One of the songs you literally say like, "Who sold more dope than us except Push?"
Yeah,
he don't get on this. Are you kidding me?
Definitely could have thrown him on there.
This was one of the most perfect mixtapes I could think Pusha T to be on.
Yeah, and French Montana is from New York.
I don't know where he's from, but I don't care. He's trash. This has to stop. He bought his way into the industry. He bought his way into success. Like, yeah. Why do we keep? He puts out songs. He's routinely the worst part of, even if the song is good.
Yeah.
Like, stop, please.
Yeah.
But besides my nitpicky problem,
I can't tell you how many times I've skipped his verse on Stay Scheming.
Oh, yeah. Oh, easily.
The song is over after Drake.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Yeah.
If Drake's verse came first, it'd be over right after that. But
yeah.
This is, eliminate Jim Jones and French Montana, and you have a classic on your hands.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, rap wise, this is like as flawless as it gets.
Yeah.
Dude, this, like you said, the lines are incredible. The beats are somehow better.
Yep.
Like we were sucking Metro Boomin because he was just incredible with 21 Savage.
Yeah.
Dude, Harry Fraud made that look like nothing.
He did.
I mean, these beats, bro, when Plug Talk with 2 Chainz came on,
yeah,
I was like, oh, I'm not skipping anything on this, clearly.
Yeah. Overall, it surprised me with how good it was, to be honest.
Bro, that beat with 2 Chainz, their verses are great.
Yep.
And then he goes to Live By It.
Yep.
Dude, Live By It, for me personally, is one of those like all-time great songs that I'll always have in my rotation.
Mm-hmm.
I think the last song I can remember was like rap song, probably Survival from Dave East.
Yeah.
Mama, I Made It.
Yeah.
And then before that, I think was something off Redemption. I want to say it was either the intro, The Bloodiest, or the J. Cole song.
Mm-hmm.
Out of Sight, Out of Mind.
Yeah.
But besides that, I mean, Live By It is just such a classic to me.
It's tough.
Survivor's Remorse.
Remorse was my favorite.
My God, it's so good.
So good, man.
And those two are my standouts, but I mean, this whole, all 9 of these tracks are standouts.
They really are. Yeah.
This, again, it's perfect. As a rap fan, as a hip hop fan, this is when somebody asks like, yo, I'm looking to get into hip hop, like, what would you recommend? This is the first thing that comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Then Funeral, then maybe Redemption, then we get into like the throwback classics.
Right.
But as far as recent stuff, man, I can't think of anything we've reviewed that's been definitively better as a hip hop project than this.
Yeah. I would say Burden of Proof is close, but I mean, it's still Benny, you know.
Right.
Is New York taking rap back over?
Yes.
Dave East and these guys. Trying to think who else is out there for them, but they're killing it, man. Griselda is killing it.
I can't, bro. I think Conway has something coming.
Yeah, he does.
I can't wait for that. And then I'm assuming I have their joint project sitting on my computer.
I'm surprised he didn't have any of them on here.
I was too.
We could have had one.
I was too, but like I think we got both of them on the one album track. So
yeah,
that's okay. You know, you're rapping.
I wouldn't mind a Freddie Gibbs too.
Of course. That's another perfect lob.
Literally anyone could have replaced French and Jim Jones.
2 Chainz could have came back for a little. What's that called? What's that called in music? Or
16?
No, when artists are asked for like a follow-up performance.
Oh, encore?
Encore, yes. Yeah. An encore. 2 Chainz could have came back for an Future, please, anything. Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is putting out heat, nonstop heat.
Yeah. I think he wanted New Yorkers, though. That's maybe.
Dave East wasn't available.
I haven't heard. Have they made something? Them and Dave East?
I don't know if they have, actually.
I need that.
It's just like
I need that ASAP.
I do too, but just please, no more French Montana collabs, bro.
I don't know who asked for that.
It's like when they used to criticize LeBron for passing the trash cans in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Like I get Corver, I get like a Mike Miller, but you passing it to Haslam, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like come on. And I'm disrespecting Haslam here, but
yeah.
Like passing to him in the end of the game, that's the equivalent of putting French Montana in a classic fucking hip hop album.
Yeah, it is.
Project.
It is. Yep.
I was so happy to hear this, man. I literally was watching Saturday's games and just I played through this like I don't know, fucking 5-10 times nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't skip the French Montana verse. I just didn't listen when that was going on.
Yeah.
But that beat is great. That song still finds a way to be good in spite of him.
It does. And the thing is, it's kind of funny. French, how he like comes into his verse isn't bad, but then the rest of it is just like, all right, man, I've heard enough. Like if he just had like a quick 3 or 4 bars like some guys do sometimes, I would have been fine.
Bro, even Fat Joe could have came back for a fucking encore.
I like that Fat Joe record a lot too.
I did too. And Fat Joe's been a sleeper as far as rapping lately.
Yes. That single he has is tough too. The Rihanna one.
He put out a lot of like short little projects.
Yeah.
Or participated in short projects.
Yeah.
He's been doing good.
Yeah. All right. Any more music to talk about? I don't have any.
Nothing I've seen. I don't know what's coming next, but I'm happy to be getting back into it.
Drake, hurry up, man. Please.
Drake, just don't make me have to listen to other shit that weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
There's been plenty of weekends that have been empty.
Yeah.
If he picks a fucking weekend where we get like other random lit shit,
yeah,
I'm gonna be kind of upset. Obviously, Drake's still getting first listen, but
yeah, I got you.
I'll be upset.
I agree. I don't want to have to stop listening to it to listen to something else.
Exactly. I need at least 3 days of listening prior to us talking about it.
Yep. All right, let's take a break real quick. Justice League, Zack Snyder.
The full 4 hours.
Now you watched it in 2 sittings?
Yeah.
Okay. I watched it in 1 long sitting, but got it done. Who's gonna start?
I'll say off rip, I loved it.
I loved it too.
It makes me. I don't know who to direct my hatred towards, unfortunately.
Regarding
what the movie we actually got. because looking back to what we got,
Mm-hmm.
they really just gave us like the laziest and the most like basic interpretation of what Zack Snyder put together.
Yeah, I agree.
Joss Whedon came in there and said, yo, they didn't fuck with Batman v Superman because that shit was long and it wasn't funny.
Right.
I'll fix that. I made Avengers. I can fix that.
Right.
And he clearly did the laziest, most basic job.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, you could have took this, you could have tweaked, the tone of it, make it a little bit more fun.
Mm-hmm.
You could have easily made it Batman v Superman lengths.
Yeah. Yeah.
With how much slow-mo this shit had, with the ridiculous Lois getting finessed twist that was completely unnecessary.
Yeah, spoiler alert, by the way.
Oh yeah, full spoilers.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, we're done. Like the episode's done.
Yep.
But and I'll get back to that because I do have something positive to say about the whole like Lois storyline.
Mm-hmm.
But this, I gotta start with like, what did Cyborg do to Warner Brothers?
The actor?
I guess because like they threw away his storyline completely.
Oh yeah, they did, and he was really upset about it. He even after he's been talking about racial issues with Warner Brothers and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
But my thing is like his storyline got completely cut out of the original movie. The other characters, they didn't get the depth. Flash got, didn't get a lot of the stuff he was supposed to get.
Yeah.
But Cyborg's story was completely thrown away.
It was, yeah.
And
it makes so much more sense. The whole movie makes more sense because of that to me.
100%, man. Him being the central character around these mother boxes, which I thought watching the original movie, I was like, why is Cyborg like not important when he's literally made from one of these boxes?
Right. And the mother box didn't even feel as important in the one that came out as it did in in this new one. Yeah.
There's just so many of our concerns were clearly not the problem we thought they were.
Yep.
I mean, I was just honestly, I watched this with my girlfriend, and I was just like halfway through the movie. I had to stop because I kept complaining about this shit that like. Remembering the original movie, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah.
I mean, every fight was better.
Do you have any complaints about this? Because I have one.
But slow-mo was just Zach. I know. Cool scene. All the characters are together, or something lit is happening. It doesn't have to be slow motion.
Mm-hmm.
Please, like. The first hour and a half, it felt like every scene had slow motion.
Yeah.
Jeez, and that's why I think you could cut this movie to like a nice 2:45, maybe 3 hours.
And the Flash scene, that wasn't in the one that came out, right?
Which one?
With the black girl?
Oh no, not at all.
And she's like a big actress. I mean, like she's
acts that shit.
She's been in a lot of stuff. That's like, yo, she just made a cameo in this. Like she's had starring roles lately. I think she has her own show.
The stuff with Alfred and Batman.
I love that stuff.
The stuff with like literally everything had more depth.
It did. Yeah.
Everything that we were like, well, this is rushed. This is forced. None of it was like that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the reason a lot of the people that don't like this is obviously it's too long. I'm not arguing with that.
Mm-hmm.
You could have made this part 1, part 2.
They could have.
Obviously they would have like had to change certain things up to make part 1 more like impactful.
Yeah.
But I think they could have done it because probably the other biggest thing this movie does, Steppenwolf has a backstory.
Yeah.
It's not known OD shit, just like Thanos' shit was simple.
Yeah, and they didn't break it down, but it was enough.
Enough for us to even have an idea of what he's doing.
And why he has desperation to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was so easy. Like, of all the things that were cut, the fact that got cut, like, this movie does the best thing it probably does is it gives us, if this came out first, we would have came on the podcast and probably talked for a whole hour about like the possibilities of where it could go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they cut all that shit because clearly they didn't want to continue this storyline.
Yeah, and now, I mean, with the one that came out, I don't see, like, I saw more Aquaman stuff that could be made, but I couldn't see where any other story would go. Like any of the other heroes, it seemed like they all ended there.
They cut them, bro. Flash has probably the most important moment in this entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, let me backtrack. I mentioned the fights being great. The fight with the Amazons when he's taking the mother box,
that was fire.
That was one of the things I liked in the original movie.
Okay.
It was like night and day better here.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Night and day better. Like, things I liked in the original movie were way better.
Yep.
A lot of the story flaws, like Cyborg, we understand what he's doing.
Yeah.
The final action sequence makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
They're not just going to this random town to save people and like stop Steppenwolf, even though we really don't know what he's doing with the mother boxes.
Mm-hmm.
In this movie, you know what he's doing. He comes in, he sets up a base.
Yep.
So it makes sense for him to be holed up in a location.
I kind of liked that there was people in it in the other one though. Like I
really didn't.
It just seemed weird that he's destroying the world and he was worried about like being in a secret location. Like, what difference does it make? You're about to,
I'll give you that.
Vaporize everyone on the planet. So who cares where you do it at? And the people in the one that came out, they were just like, they didn't know what was going on. And it gave the heroes like a little more than just like, oh, there he is. Let's just go do it.
But both times, so there's three big action sequences with the whole Justice League. So there's the scene, where they go to Stryker's Island,
mm-hmm.
which, by the way, we never knew in the original movie where they went.
Right.
Like, it was just some random place that Steppenwolf happened to be at.
Yeah.
And Cyborg's dad was there. This time we get like a lead up. We get an explanation of how that scene even happens.
Yeah.
It fits the story. Then you get the big scene with Superman. You get actual depth of them planning to revive Superman.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get that in the original movie, even though it was the main point of the movie.
It wasn't bad in the original movie, though. I don't think.
It was like this, though. Everything was like this.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Another thing they have here, which I was furious they didn't have in the original, the characters have like bond with each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Flash and Aquaman were eating together at one point, and
Cyborg and Flash talked a couple times.
Aquaman and Wonder Woman, he offered her a drink, like that kind of thing. Like, yeah, you're right. It was a lot more bonding.
And it wasn't like the movie was filled with it.
Right.
It was just subtle scenes here and there, like little quick couple minute scenes.
Yep.
Just everything was better, man. Steppenwolf's fucking armor looked better.
Yeah. His face was different too, right?
Yeah, it looked way better.
Yeah.
I thought the flashback of the battle before.
Yeah, with Darkseid's battle with Zeus and
Zeus's son is like doing work.
Yeah.
For some reason they threw that away. You see Lanterns like getting murked by Steppenwolf, which would have been a great like setup to show how lit he is.
Yeah.
Don't really do it in the original movie. Why? We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the final action sequence was the lead up to it was so much better. The like how the Justice League fought was so much cooler.
Mm-hmm.
It made more sense, just them arriving, them kind of like making their way towards Steppenwolf, them fighting together, which in hindsight, if you remember, they're like they have like little quick battles, just whooping the parademons.
Mm-hmm.
Here they actually have to like work together and do certain things.
Yeah.
It's just little depth that added to every aspect of the movie to me.
Yeah, that power move with Cyborg and Aquaman was fire.
Yes.
Bro. Do you have any complaints? Because I think I have a lot more complaints than you still.
That's fair. Let me get through my positives, because I have a few more like big ones.
Okay.
Again, I thought, the Lewis thing.
Oh, yeah.
So the twist of it being Martian the Manhunter, which, by the way, him like throwing him in at the end, great.
Yes.
But that twist was like
it didn't
painfully
seem
unnecessary.
Yeah.
I thought they initially, when I'm watching it, I'm like, okay, so in this, because you remember in the original one, Bruce Wayne like brings Lois Lane to Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's like a strategy to get Superman to like remember himself.
Yeah.
In this movie, that doesn't happen.
Right.
Indeed, there's probably a little bit too much of like Lois just wallowing and missing him and shit.
Yeah, and it just a coincidence she was outside that.
But that makes more sense to me, like her visiting Superman's memorial. Yeah. And it happens to like play out. That makes more sense to me than Martian the Manhunter finessing her, or that Bruce Wayne like came and took her.
Yeah, the Bruce Wayne part, it definitely makes more sense than that. But I think the Martian Manhunter, I mean, because he can see the future, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like him saying, all right, I know that Lois has to be kicked into gear because I know, what's about to happen. I get that.
It didn't ruin the movie.
But they should have explained that if that's what they were doing.
But even with that, I think, again, they handled Lois getting to Superman in a more realistic way.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Even with me not liking that as much.
Yeah, because at least it's still orchestrated in a way, but yet still coincidental at the same time.
Right.
So, yeah.
And like I said, you could have cut some of just her like just being depressed.
Yeah. That first part of her being depressed was well.
Yeah. But as far as any other like big positives, because I am curious, I want to see what your issues were. But
do you have issues? Did you say?
Honestly, no. I was just happy to see I was so happy to be excited where they could take these characters,
and
the fact that they actually made a movie where I would have came out of the theater saying, "Yo, man, like they could go in all these different directions." That would be really cool. Oh. The Flash, most important scene. I cannot believe they had the fucking nerve to cut that Flash actually uses the Speed Force.
Yeah.
To recover, because they basically take an L.
Right.
And Flash uses the Speed Force, setting up the dream sequence in Batman v Superman, the dream sequence at the end, to like a possibility that could happen.
Yeah.
I was like, this is exactly what I was looking for.
And
I was just shocked. I love that part, like him going back and kind of resaving like their combo box energy like move.
Yeah.
I thought that was so well done. Again, too much slow motion because it was the whole time practically in slow motion. But it was such a good like door opener to, like I said, what you can do moving forward.
Right.
And I was happy. I mean, the dream sequence at the end was a little random. It was more of like a fan service kind of thing. Didn't really make any sense.
It's supposed to set up their apocalypse movie.
Right. But it gave you a little peek of like, as did the dream sequence in the Batman v Superman, with like Lewis having a lot to do with it, and Superman clearly having a lot to do with it.
Yeah,
which is cool. Like, I enjoyed that.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if I read some of what the plan was, if Snyder was supposed to keep doing the movies. And I mean, I'm not going to talk about it. People could look that up, but yeah, it goes deep into that. I'm not sure how Joker gets on his team though, but
well, they had a funny jab between him and was it Deathstroke of like you sure this is why you wanted to bring him? Like, you sure it was a good idea?
Yeah.
I was like, that's funny. Like, you're giving us little peeks of like what could happen in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say again, I don't. Obviously, this movie is not perfect,
right?
Not just because it's 4 hours. There's plot holes. A lot of stuff was dragged out.
It found a way to have certain things dragged out and some certain things completely not explained at the same time,
right?
Which was tough, but they figured it out to do that. Like, there's some things that I still felt was really rushed, but not a lot. And then there were some parts was like, okay, we didn't need like the sing. Like, why did we have to hear all the singing of when Aquaman was leaving the village? Like, that was a little
unnecessary.
I mean, it was only 2 minutes, but it was still like, all right, completely unnecessary. Even the whole thing with the guy who didn't speak English or pretended like he didn't speak English for Batman, we didn't need that either, really. But yeah, I'll say my complaints. They're very minor. I didn't like how the Flash was basically only used for his lightning in the movie. I didn't like that until the going back in time part. And I wish, like, when he did the box, when he activated the box to wake Superman up, I wish he told them like I feel like no one knew he could go back in time.
Yeah, he mentioned it, but like it was so casual.
Yeah, and I wish when he did the box, he said like, "Yo, I can't do that again because I just did. The box was going backwards, and like I wish he just told somebody what was going on, and instead of just all of a sudden be like, yeah, I can do that sometimes. Sometimes I just go fast and I change time. Time gets a little weird." He says, like, that's not enough. I need more.
He like sneaks it in, like I have this rule I don't break. Like, yo, what? Like, what are you talking about? That's more than just like a rule. Oh, like a don't. I have do's and don'ts, and that's a don't.
So that was kind of weak. That was a little weak for me. And then otherwise, there was no real fighting. There was no like really good Flash fight scene. It was just we're either using your lightning or you're going back in time. There's like only two things, He's either charging or going back in time. So that was kind of weak for me. I think, and the other thing is, and this is where obviously it's not the Avengers, and they're not trying to be the Avengers, but this is where the Avengers takes like one step ahead of them. Is where, like you mentioned, the 3 times where it was all of them, but none of those times was it to stop them from getting the box necessarily. That's like, obviously the Amazon part, they weren't there, but they knew he was coming for the Aquaman one, the one in the water. And it was they didn't really show cohesion in any of the battles until the last one. That's what I'm saying.
That's fair.
I guess it was a build-up. I guess it was supposed to be a build-up, but I feel like they could have at times. That's all.
You know what? This movie has a number of moments where, like, it obviously the act, like it breaks in acts, like a play, like the Hateful Eight did that most recently, and that I can remember, and which was a good thing for obviously 4 hours.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of like moments when it goes from one thing to another, and it feels empty.
Yes.
Like it goes from a moment to another moment, and I'm like, I feel like we skipped a lot to go from that point to this point.
Yes. That's the part where I say some parts did feel rushed still.
But that, like, going into Justice League, I knew that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Because they hadn't done any movies.
Right. The only solution was making the shit 4 hours long.
Yeah. Or 2 parts.
Right. And Zack Snyder, you know, I like him. I like a lot of the movies he's done. He's not a put a ton of storylines together guy.
Right. And this still was a rough draft, right? Like this wasn't the one that was going to be in the theaters.
Right. It was going to be cut. Even if Snyder stayed, it wasn't going to be 4 hours.
No, but I'm saying they still, like, it still wasn't. They didn't finish all the footage, right?
They probably would have reshot certain things.
Yeah, because I'm watching. I'm like, man, like I feel like they missed something there. Like, but then I was thinking, okay, well maybe there was a talking scene where they explained something, and they just didn't put it in because they weren't planning on releasing this anyway. But
I think, like,
I'm not sure.
I just think Cyborg's, like, there's a lot of stuff where I thought you could cut out that I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Cyborg's story could have kept the movie with the tone it had, a little more of a darker, kind of slower tone, kind of similar to Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Which I thought worked when you're using Cyborg's storyline and like as the biggest individual storyline to progress the story.
Mm-hmm.
Because in this movie, to me, Cyborg is easily one of the most important characters.
Absolutely.
And he has probably the most depth out of any Avenger in this, out of any Justice League member in this movie.
He does. Yeah.
And it works for what I saw in these 4 hours.
It does.
I just wish they would have picked to cut other things.
Yeah. I think that also with the mother box trying to tempt him, that part where like he saw his family, that part that Wonder Woman warned him about very briefly.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that could have been either she should have brought that up again, or like he could have mentioned that, or it could have went deeper into that.
Because also, I agree completely.
It's kind of like the going back in time thing. Like she just snuck in, like, yeah, it's dangerous because it'll make you think something that's not true, and then like the 3 ghosts appear with the skulls, the skeletons, and then his parents, and they got a version of him that's normal. Like that seemed like a lot more than what she talked about, what she warned him about. That's all.
And that felt really forced, like really kind of something we've seen before.
Yeah,
like kind of a basic storyline.
Yep.
But I thought his relationship with his dad,
I like that,
and flushing that out again. Not like the movie doesn't use a ton of time into it.
Mm-hmm.
It just subtly here and there they have little scenes, like the scene of the dad like calling in like the fire alarm is fake.
Yeah.
And then seeing that it's him and he's like, oh, like, okay, go through, and they have like a little moment.
Yeah, I like that.
I thought little subtle shit like that was exactly what the original movie was missing.
I agree. I definitely agree.
This movie got me excited about Cyborg, and all I did for years after the original movie was trash Cyborg.
Yeah, I agree. And the worst part is we know he's not coming back because of his issues.
Yeah. I hate that I remember watching Flash when like Justice League was starting to get developed.
Yeah.
And we had seen Batman v Superman, and I remember like, that dream sequence was the only kind of future hint we had at anything.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like Barry has to have a big role because of all the time traveling he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And these fucking assholes really did that, and then just said, nah, y'all not gonna see that shit.
Yeah. I also didn't really love the special effects of him while he was running with the, not in his sequence, but in the battle where it was just like all blue and him just, I don't know. They don't do good on the show either, by the way.
No,
where it's him running and he like his running style looks weird. He's taking like huge steps. He's like jumping kind of like
they haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah, they just have it.
I do like his blue lightning looks cool.
That looks great.
And his suit having the yellow bolt or the yellow like a bolt. It didn't have that in the original one.
He didn't have a bolt in the original one?
Nah, he just had like a red suit.
Oh,
he might have got a bolt once Batman like worked on his fit.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But initially, he just had a red suit, nothing on it.
And one more thing, and this, I kind of argue with people about this one, so I might be hating. I hate how they have like so much respect for Superman, but like we've really only seen Superman save the world like, twice. And I feel like it wasn't like a worldwide thing as much as it was a Metropolis thing. But I get it. Metropolis is supposed to be like New York City, so obviously that makes it kind of a worldwide thing. But like when they thought they needed to wake him up and like they were making it such a big deal, like if as long as they have him, they'll be fine. Like he's what they're missing, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That felt weird when we only had 2 movies to go off of for me.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like it feels like we had seen Superman really go crazy like 10 times for them to like, yo, he's been saving us for 10 years.
He's like a symbol of peace.
Yeah, like, okay, he's just some super dude that did good one year. Like he hasn't done much more than Aquaman as far as resume saving the world goes.
Yeah, and everything he did in Man of Steel caused like OD destruction.
And it was all because of him, kind of.
The whole reason why Batman hated him in the next movie.
Exactly.
But
and the Doomsday one was kind of on the low because that only took like, Doomsday appeared for like an hour, and next thing you know, Superman was taking him down,
right,
taking him into space.
Which I still think if they had found a way to have a different villain in that movie and put Doomsday in this,
it would have been fire.
Would have been a better decision in the long run.
Yeah,
I do think with Superman, they also had one scene that I really thought gave it a little bit more depth. And him going back to the ship and hearing like the montage of both of his dads.
That was huge. Yeah.
I was like, how could you cut this?
Yeah.
You remember in the original movie, he talks to Lewis. He's on the farm like, well, I got to go help him because they brought me back. And then he flies in to save the day. That's it.
He didn't ask who they were. He didn't ask like what, didn't look at the news, what's going on.
And this one was like
they need me for something. I don't know what it is.
Final battle was so different because in the original one, Superman just flies in and they get a dub.
Yeah.
Like it's simple, it's quick.
Yeah.
In this one, he flies in. He's more of a mismatch for Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
It's not even really a fight because they whoop him.
Yeah.
But then like they fuck up on the Flash and Cyborg working together.
Right.
Which makes sense. Now Flash has to do his thing. And you set up the little moment between them and Darkseid.
Right.
Which I thought was great.
I thought that was great. That battle scene was pretty much flawless for me. Like I said, I just wish Flash had more fighting. And like I said, I wish they didn't just use him for his lightning. But other than that, everything else in the battle was great to me.
I thought they flushed out his relationship with his dad again a teeny bit more.
I liked it.
Which was way better.
Yep.
I don't get the cut decisions. I really don't. I don't understand what Joss Whedon was doing.
Real quick, did Flash beat anybody? Like, did he?
But it made sense because he's coming in as like a rookie.
But he was already the Flash.
But he's not like murking people like these guys are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, well, they don't tell us anything. He wasn't the Flash just to save pretty girls. Like, he didn't have
that was really corny, by the way.
Why?
It was just so long.
I liked it. Well, he set up his movie. I think
too much slow motion. Like him just staring at her for like the longest time,
grabbing the hot dog.
Yeah, I was just like, come on, like this. I get it, but you don't have to make it this long.
I get it. Yeah, I agree. I get that. But what I'm saying is when Batman came into his place. And he already had the suit is all scratched up. Like he had been working.
Right.
He had to have, caught some bodies.
I got you. But I mean, we'd know better if we saw a movie.
Right.
Which they've been like delaying and canceling and reproducing or whatever the hell they're doing.
Right. So if we get a prequel, maybe that'll make me feel a little bit better about it. But still, it's like, he came in, oh, you're fast. Yeah. And like, then they never really use his speed unless he's channeling lightning. That's whack.
Yeah.
Like, but
why did they hire the J.K. Simmons as Alfred? I mean, not Alfred, as
Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah. Alfred was cool. Seeing Alfred a little bit more, which I remember hearing his fucking voice in the trailer saying things that he never said in the movie.
I remember that too, yeah.
Like I was seeing like, oh, him talking to Wonder Woman. Like I remember him saying this, but I never saw it.
I liked his banter in there.
For sure, bro. Him like Bruce Wayne telling him about faith as kind of the reason why he's buying into this.
I loved it.
I was so good, so quick.
Yep.
It's just all these little things that added up to make the movie so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing with Darkseid was great. Him at the end just saying like, "Oh, I guess we'll do this like the old-fashioned ways."
Yeah.
Like, bro, y'all set up an easy sequel and then just threw it away.
Now, real quick, I didn't understand that the mother boxes were disabled, like they're over with. That's because that's what Darkseid said at the end, or Assad or whatever his guy's name was said to him, like, now that the mother boxes are disabled, what are you gonna do? And then that's when he said we gotta do it the old-fashioned way. But I didn't realize that that's what Cyborg was doing, like making them not work anymore.
I thought he was just splitting them.
Yeah, I did too. But
which was what happened, which was like, all right, it makes sense.
Yeah, but when they dropped, they didn't talk about hiding them again.
I'm assuming they're gonna do like that. The plan was to use them in the next movie, I'm sure.
Yeah, but like I said, Darkseid said they were disabled, like they're done with.
They also the life force thing that they like introduced that Steppenwolf, I guess, finds.
Yeah.
Wasn't really flushed out in this movie as much as it probably should have.
Mm-hmm.
But it was completely cut out in the original movie.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
I feel like the original movie took away all the opportunities for like sequels.
It did,
which is so bizarre. I guess they had to have been going into Justice League knowing that like we're not really gonna have a cohesive future because Ben Affleck is out the door. I'm sure they were having problems with the Henry Cavill.
Mm-hmm.
Cyborg was having problems already. The Flash movie's been having problems ever since.
Yeah.
Like you said to begin with, Aquaman's the only one they really have gotten right.
Yeah.
I mean, Wonder Woman hasn't gotten better.
Yeah, and Flash was a little too silly in this too, by the way. Like some of his lines.
He just a little too much. This movie's tone.
Say it again?
He didn't really fit this movie's tone.
Right. No, he didn't.
He fit the original movie.
He did, yeah. Yeah.
Which, again, in hindsight...
Because it seemed like it seemed like Aquaman had less funny parts in this, but Flash had more.
Yeah, I mean, he still had like the same, like the drink, like the kind of the cowboy, like the tough cowboy lines.
Yeah,
some of those.
He did. Yeah.
I thought the fights with Steppenwolf were better. Like they were more intense.
Mm-hmm.
Like they looked a little like the Amazons. I remember when they collapsed the tunnel. I was like, okay, like we didn't get this.
Yeah.
Or we got this like again super quick.
Yep.
Aquaman's girl actually does damage to him.
Yeah, that was nice too.
Again, why are you cutting that?
No, I don't know. Well, one thing too, I would have liked would maybe to hear them plan more for the last scene. It just seemed like I don't know. It just seemed like they were really quick with like, all right, I'll just do this, you do that, and we'll be fine. Instead of like well, I mean, I guess they're superheroes, so they didn't really need to plan that much. But it didn't seem like it was much of a plan.
They did go from the time that Superman dipped with Lois to the final battle, like everything was chill.
Yeah.
Like it was, like we got this.
Yeah, and to go there without Superman, they were just like, yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll do it together. Like Batman literally said, like he's never fought us united.
Right, and then they never talked about uniting. Not one thing about like how they were going to unite. Like they're just going to figure it out.
Yeah,
I thought
I guess last thing, the Martian the Manhunter casting, the voice and the guy was perfect.
I agree.
I just don't get me wrong. I've been like overwhelmingly positive. This it's not. It wouldn't have been if this came out the way it is. I wouldn't have thought this was better than Avengers. Right. I would have had probably a lot of criticisms. The slow motion, my God, please stop.
Yeah, and like over zoom on the slow motion too.
Oh yes. Yeah. Oh, but that's Snyder's game.
It is.
You watch 300. You watch even like fucking Dawn of the Dead.
Yep.
Sucker Punch.
Did he do the Immortals too with Henry Cavill?
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, but that's up his alley. It seems like something he'd make.
Yeah, it does.
He's always been like a simple concept that he makes. Sucker Punch, he tried to get like meta with it, and it was terrible.
And that had a ton of flashbacks too.
This movie did everything I wanted when we talked about this. Like all the potential, all the depth. It's just.
This is one that I think if they did it again, they would have got it completely right. If they came with another Justice League 2, with the Legion, with Lex, Deathstroke, I think they might have knocked it out the park that time. But I saw no future after the first one. So
I don't know, man. Like I'm happy to have seen this, but I'm just mad because I didn't like the direction they were going, but I liked the characters they created. And that's why we talked about it so much. That's why I was so, upset when they would put out trash movies like Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Because clearly they could do it. They clearly could put these, not Avengers, but they could come close.
They could, yeah.
That's all I ask. Now, like
this was better than Age of Ultron to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It just made me sad because I don't think DC now is like stuck. Like, what do they do now? Do they because from what I've seen, the reaction's been overwhelmingly positive.
Yeah.
Like they can't, what are they going to try to like scrap everything together? Like, all right, let's keep this going. Apparently everybody loves it.
They'd almost have to reset because nobody's coming back. And they even had to struggle to keep Gal Gadot to come back. I mean, she was, and Momoa's there. I'm sure. I think he likes being Aquaman, but no one else is coming back. So
this movie being as good as it was, makes it all the more like questionable what they're doing in the future.
Yeah, I agree.
In like a bad way to me.
Yep.
They're willing to cut this much stuff from us. Like this can't be like the director changed, so we change. Like you made it completely basic.
Yeah. And I can't believe they had all these actors do all this work that they didn't release.
Cyborg got paid for like none of his work mattered.
Right. Yep. And his dad has been a pretty big actor in the past.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of big roles, and for him to get so much of his role taken out of too is crazy.
And clearly his dad interacting with that the Asian guy was a little bit more depth into a potential Cyborg movie.
Yeah, because I wanted to know, him taking over the ship. They made that seem like it was something we needed to hear.
Exactly.
So I was wanting to know,
exactly,
like, what does that mean exactly? Like, what's gonna happen? So, yeah. You got anything else?
No, man. It felt good to have a reason to watch HBO Max.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got, I think, Godzilla versus Kong coming in end of March.
That's coming on Max too.
Yeah.
Man.
They getting going.
Yeah. Yeah. And Netflix is coming out with some big movies, I think, soon. At least big actors. I've been trying to catch a lot of the trailers on YouTube, and there's stuff coming. They got stuff coming.
Oh, Falcon Winter Soldier.
Did you watch the first episode?
No, not yet. I think I'm gonna wait for all of them to come out.
Okay. First episode was kind of weak anyway, but yeah.
All right. WandaVision. We're not talking about it today because we've been on for like 4 hours. I feel like.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It's wild. We got a lot to discuss on that.
Yeah, for sure, and where that goes.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Well, first video episode is over. Subscribe. YouTube, all the streaming platforms. Follow us on Instagram. Link in the description. So, yeah.
Thank you guys for listening and watching, hopefully.
Yep. And we'll continue to improve. You continue to listen to us, and we'll be back next week.